And I'm like, I'm like, I hope this is working. I think it says we're live. You guys, hello, welcome to James Mini Spotlight on JLJ Media. Um, it's not an illusion. We're here. We're actually here. We're here. I don't know. I got stuck all of a sudden. We're here. I'm James Lott Jr. so this has been so long. It's been really windy here. My voice is a little in and out because it's just allergy. It's like I'm not sick or anything. It's just things are flying around, Frank, everywhere.
Well, you sound sexier than ever.
Why, thank you.
No,
I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to talk a little throaty. Trying to keep my throat wet right now. And that's Frank Moran, kids. You know him.
Hey, everybody.
We're here. We're back to talk about General Hospital. We got a lot to talk about, kids.
Look at this.
Last time we
Oh,
were here, Sam was alive.
that's true. It was so good. I know we were going to be holding off until like December to officially come back, but it was so good that James reached out and said, "Hey, can you do it?" I mean, as always, I sit there at the ready for James to shine the GH mini spotlight into the
You know,
sky.
there you go. And all of a sudden, Frank appears. It's crazy. That'd be kind of funny if he has like that. Like just Jade sign. I shot outside Los Angeles. I shot it that. Well, actually, Frank's this way in front of me, so I shot at my house that way. He looks outside, and he's like, "Oh, it's time." Okay, that's how it works. That's how it works. Folks, get in the chat. Of course, get in the chat. Chat is open. I think I can see it. I'm gonna tell you in a second if I can see it. I just updated my to the new iOS on my iMac, so it's kind of like, what's going on? Wait in front of me. Okay, see you. People in the chat. Yeah, people in the chat. Yes, I see them. Okay. Hi, Tracy and John and Jason and Sandra with their maple leaves. Thank you, Rodelli. Annie's YouTube channel. Hi, everyone. Hi, James and Frank. Sounds like we're getting the quiet storm today. We are getting the quiet storm today.
Ooh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so we're glad to see you guys. Come on in. The water's fine. Let's do some church announcements. God, I'm so out of practice. Oh my God, I'm so out of practice. I'm so out of practice. Um, so we're on today. There's no Y and RGH. No Y and R Bold and Beautiful. Right. None of those shows. But Tammy Govea went to the 13,000th episode and got us 13 different interviews, plus behind the scenes. They're up now. They're up now. They're wonderful. She talked to Peter Bergman, who got very emotional. Peter Bergman, legend, Jack Abbott. She talked to my girls, Ulrika Silver. She talked to Valerie Pettiford. She talked to everybody. Melissa Carey, everybody. So check those out. Those are on audio, the interviews themselves, because last minute I had laryngitis. I couldn't go. So
No.
I got laryngitis. Couldn't talk for 5 days. So she had to go in my place, Frank. I was so pissed. But she did a great job. She did a wonderful job. And she got all these interviews. But the video, we have a compilation video we put out. You'll see everybody, including my cousin Lauren Lott. She's in it too. But Tracy Bregman, everybody. So I talked to all of them. So check that out. No, there's no Taraya. She didn't talk to any of them. There was nothing. It was a short. It was a very short um, event. It was during the daytime for a couple hours. So that's out now. So check out all of those. That should keep you busy if you're a Y&R fan. Also, after this, Tony Moore and his friends are doing Dish Days. And that's at 3 o'clock their time. I mean, our time on their channel. I was going to say on their channel, Dish Days. Tony successfully, I think, people are talking shit. I don't care, but he successfully hosted the 60th annual Day of Days. And I was very happy that he did. He did such a great job. I tried to be there, you guys. Again, I had work, so I couldn't go at the last minute. But I saw the videos, and Tony did a great job. And Days of Our Lives is the #1 show on Peacock, apparently. That was
Oh, look at
on Peacock.
that. Wow. I am sorry that people were trying to stir stuff up. That's
They were.
unfortunate.
There was some things that Tony said that happened that were not, of course, not his fault. But he was trying to. He was the face of the show. But there was some
Mm.
behind the scenes stuff that just didn't work. And it's all about planning. It's all just maybe next year they'll plan it a little differently. But Tony himself, he did a great job, and I saw his opening. He had introduced all the people, and he did a great job. Sure.
Yeah. There was that difference between being, just hosting something and then being the person responsible for
Yeah,
all the decisions that are being made.
yeah, so, yeah. Tony did a great job. Somebody said, "Yeah, he did." It had nothing to do with decisions of how you meet people and all. I mean, he had nothing to do with that. It was not. It was not him. So that was great. So, but they were talking about all that and more on Audition Days. Checking them out over there, our sister channel, Audition Days. And also, I just want to give you a little heads up. If you like my Zooms, this Saturday, I'm doing the only Zoom this month. This Saturday, live from San Francisco, at my friend David's house. 12 p.m. Pacific. I don't know these time zones. 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a lot to talk about soon. So join us. Join us. Sign up. Sign up. It's this Saturday. It's the only one doing this month. So sign up. Sign up. Sign up. Sign up. Sign up. Also, Frank, a lot of people from the soap world, a lot of people from a lot of the worlds, but the soap world, everyone's about Tony. Yeah, Tony did a great job. He did a great job. Who wrote the Blue Sky? I've been on Blue Sky since September 2023. So people are like, welcome. Like, I've been sitting here bored. Nothing going on over here. But now it's starting to get a little exciting. Frank, are you on Blue Sky?
I signed up in the past week. You know, I don't know how you see how crazy I am on all the other social
Right,
media.
right, right.
I'm sure I'm gonna be just that, all that.
Everybody's over there. Just saying, everybody. It was like a mass exit. What's funny? People were saying, "I'm going to do this," and they're actually doing it. It's very interesting. Again, lot right now. It's got 5 more follows just now on my phone. I saw.
Yeah. I mean, that's so people have always been kind of uh, saying like, "Oh, I'm getting off of X. I'm getting out of here. This is terrible." But nothing would happen. And now finally, people are actually following through.
Yes, and
I'm so,
also folks are going on Threads again. I guess apparently. So I'm
yeah.
still on Threads. I know it's just a thing, part of Instagram, but I haven't done anything with that.
Oh, James, that Threads is where it's at. I mean, uh,
Are you on
uh, I
Threads?
I am on Threads, and I feel like I just see so many people's dating stories on Threads. It's just I don't know, what I've done, but like I just keep getting in my timeline just a lot of people talking about, oh, I went on this date. Oh, now I'm getting divorced. I'm grieving. Like, oh, geez. All right.
That's something else. I don't know yet. But here's the thing, folks. I'm on Blue Sky, James L. Jr. Like I said, I'm getting requests every 5 minutes. Like people following me. So I mean, I'm on there. We'll see what happens. It's just, I mean, I have enough to worry about with all the other shows. Other social media. I was on it. I went on that. I went on Spill. I went on something else back last year, no, 2023. I was like, go on these just in case anything happens. So I went on there, and I'm just sitting there. Beautiful Ashes, who's in here, just sent me is now following me on Blue Sky. Like so funny.
Man, everybody follow me on Blue Sky.
So I was saying, I just thought it was very interesting that people I mean, like a mass exodus are going over. They're saying that because it was led by Eric Braden, who said, "I'm leaving X," and then Nestle Grant said, "I'm leaving X." So 2 big names said they were like leaving. They were leaving X after the election. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe it took an event like that this last election for people to finally decide to follow through on things that they had kind of like teased that they may do.
So what is Blue Sky? Well, Blue Sky is a social network, but apparently it's not owned by certain people. So we were like, it's the best place. It'll be more. It'll be more. You can speak your mind more, and it's more. So that's what the claim is. So I don't know. I don't know who owns Blue Sky or all that stuff. I don't know. I knew it a long time ago. I don't know anymore. But I say I was already on it. I had joined it a year and a half ago. I just kind of was just kind of like I'm on, but I'm just seeing all of a sudden people say this, and I'm seeing they're actually going over that. I thought that's just very interesting.
Yeah.
Going
Uh,
through.
I guess
But Frank's
I'll.
not sure yet. Frank got 10,000 emails. He's not sure what he's gonna do over there on Blue Sky. He don't know what's going on. You know, Frank's not, he's not even sure. He's barely on social media. Sanders got there yesterday. Jason's going there soon. It's Twitter minus Elon shenanigans. Someone wrote. I might see. I do. Frank doesn't have Blue Sky. He just said, you guys. I thought,
I do have Blue Sky.
oh, you do? Oh yeah, it's on. Well, Frank, what's your? Everybody's like, what's your? I'm not even following Frank. What's this blue sky?
Oh well, Happy Go Jackie.
Oh,
You know,
happy. I see. Happy go Jackie.
as always. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh man, this is great. I've got 3 followers.
Everybody is at. Okay, I'm gonna spell it so you guys. Oh, Frank's about to get bombarded. That's if he fight. I don't. I can't guarantee he'll follow you back, but he's a. And this is how it's spelled. If you guys don't remember, it's happy go
Oh,
Jackie dot b sky dot social. That's how you find
I
people.
just followed James Lott Jr. Mm,
See all my shenanigans. And
there
of
you
course,
go.
I'm at James Lott Jr. at B Sky
Oh,
social.
James, you have a lot more nudity on your Blue Sky than I would have thought.
I follow a bunch of I was on a bunch of accounts on there.
That's right. Yeah, if you want to
But
see
not mine,
topic
but it's not my nudity.
today.
I mean, I'm not doing anything new, not at
Oh,
all.
really? Because then you have, I mean, why do I'm seeing a lot of
It was not me, trust me. Not me. I was following people. I didn't think it was gonna turn into anything. That's what's so crazy. I mean, literally been sitting there for I joined in September 2023.
you were
That's a
ahead of the
year and a
curve.
half ago. No one was on there.
I know it took over a year for people to finally get on the Blue Sky train. They're catching up to where you were already at.
Yes, I know. It's kind of crazy. So that's Blue Sky. Lord, they're all laughing. So you check on there, but I'm on there. But I will follow. I try to follow. I only go. Let's give Frick as many followers on Blue Sky as emails. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Um, I'm just following. I'm just following everybody on there. We'll see what happens. Um, let's see. Let's give Frank. I guess 4 followers. You know, you have 4 followers, Frank. Oh, Sandra's following now. People are going to happen.
Hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm gonna follow them. I'm gonna try to follow all you guys back. I've been trying to go through and follow everybody who follows me. But folks are. I guess I'm just honest. I'm not. I don't. I'm so far removed from social media. I just post. I'm rarely engaged. So I literally pulled myself out over the last year and a half. I pulled myself out of that. I may comment on a few things. My ex timeline right now, Frank, is mostly music stuff. When I started liking all this music stuff, it's just music videos and anniversaries of music and Prince. But that's all I have. I see soap stuff, but that's it. I barely see anything. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose after a while it kind of gets curated to your interests. So like mine is just like a lot of comic book stuff,
Yeah,
TV,
yeah. So I'm
stuff
like,
like
I
that.
don't. So for me, I don't engage as heavily. So, but we're on there. Also, the gates, beyond the gates. February 25th, 1 p.m. Eastern Central, 2 p.m. No, 1 p.m. Yeah, 1 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern and Central. CBS, after the Bold and Beautiful and Young and the Restless, it's coming. So for us in Los Angeles, we're fine. General Hospital comes at 2 o'clock our time. So literally, I can watch all four and
Mm.
not a problem. I know many of you guys who watch General Hospital, these guys are having a dilemma. I guess they're having a dilemma, East Coast.
For you, James, where are you ranking your interest and enthusiasm for the Gates right now? Just based solely casting stuff like that. How excited are you?
So, folks have been asking, and this is a good, I'm glad you asked that question because actually I should answer this also, folks. People are wanting our not Frank, wrong person. Our Tony Moore, James Lott Jr. Oh, no, sorry, it's 20. Candace Mack joined in. It's February 24th, 2025. I know all those numbers I mixed up. Yeah, it's 2/24/25. Thank you, Candace. Candace thinks she works for the Gates. Um, Here's the deal. We were asking, will James Lott Jr., Tony Moore, and Walker Ragsdale do the after show for him? Right now, we're not sure yet. We're going to watch the show first for a couple of weeks and see how we feel. So my thing is, I'm I'm cautiously excited, Frank, for it. I'm more I know Michelle Valjean, who's the lead of this, the creator. I know many of the writers. They just released the writers, which include Ron Colavardi. See that?
Mm.
Gregory J. Martin from the Bay, who's my friend. So I know some of the actors on it, like Carla Mosley is my friends. So I was like, so it's kind of funny. I'm confident in who they've hired, and and the people who they've hired, period, just across the board. I'm very yeah. I'm afraid of the fans are going to ruin
Hmm.
it. I've been saying it over and over again. Fans in general are so ruthless these days. I am scared they won't give it a chance because any new show, it takes time sometimes. So like you have to catch on. It's a whole new show, um, and nothing's perfect, right? So it's like you have to kind of see where it goes. So I will give it the weeks, the chance for it to kind of kick off, and see how it happens. And then after a while, if I feel like it's something I'm really going to get to, then I might do something. But I really do. This is good news. This is good news that the soap genre is not completely dead. That we're adding a new soap, plus the All My Children stuff on Lifetime is happening too. This is a good direction, Frank.
Uh,
What are your thoughts?
yeah, I mean, it's very rare that you get to be ground floor kind of talking about a new soap, which is so doing an after show right from the get-go. That's a kind of a more rare opportunity and kind of interesting. And you're right, James. It all varies. Like any comedy or drama that you watch on TV, some come out really kind of fully formed, like there's a distinct point of view that just is seen from the get-go, and then others, it can take a season or part of a season to really kind of start gelling into what the show is going to be. Uh, so yeah, it depends on how the gates is. I mean, there could be some storylines that they think are going to be gangbusters that, comes out and they just see that, yep, this nope, this really isn't resonating with the audience as much as we thought it would. Or these characters aren't, these particular pairings, these actors, or in these types of storylines aren't resonating. Or maybe a lot of the stuff is really catching on. Maybe the pace of storytelling is there, uh, and the fans are reacting to that. So it'll be interesting to see how how put together they are from the beginning, and then how they grow over like the first 3, 6, and 12 months.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to give it some time, and I think for me, the last soap that I really watched the ground floor I saw was Born to Be Beautiful. That was 37 years ago. I watched it from the first day to now. Then other soaps have come and gone. I mean, there's like, Passion, Sunset Beach. They've come and gone. So, but again, this is a big deal. This has been so long since we had a new soap. And it's funny because the new season has just started on regular television. It's a new season started. And there's certain shows I'm kind of watching, and there's a show called Shrinking on Apple Plus. Second season started. Love, 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 love. But it was one of those. But it was one of those. It took me a few episodes to get into. That's fine. Counter that with Matlock. I was hit from the first episode. That twist at the end, I was like, I'm in. Like it got me, right? I was like, it's Kathy Bates, of course, whatever. But it got me in. I was like, ooh. But I know that not all shows do that. So there were two examples. Now it's tricky. I can't. I'm trying to binge the second season. I mean, it's so good. Like I just can't. I mean, but it took me a minute to get the humor and kind of get what's going on. Harrison Ford is the bomb, and it just means that thing in there. But it's like it took me a minute. Yellowstone, loved it from the very beginning. From the very beginning, when I saw the first episode, I was in like Flynn, ready to go. But there's other shows where I'm like, okay, I'll watch it and see what's going on. And they're like, oh, now I get it, or now it's hitting its stride. And looking at this show, it seems like it's doing the basic 5.5 weeks in advance, not the days 9 months. Days is 9 months in advance. If you got a mistake, Frank, you can't change it. It's true. You got like 8 more months to go.
Yeah, I'm really curious about how they evolve to that sort of production model where they could be that far ahead and, you know, be fine with it.
Right. Oh, good. So folks, we have all that going on. But now let's talk about General
Dun,
Hospital.
dun, 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 dun.
I'm gonna start with okay, so I mean there's so many places to start. We'll get to Sam's death. We're gonna get because obviously it drives everything that's going on right now, basically. Um, and as of tomorrow, apparently Lulu wakes up. So we're gonna get Alexa Havens as Lulu. That's what so we were okay. So we got all that. We got all that. But I'm gonna start with something that I have a little problem with.
Ooh,
You
tear
know,
it all down, James.
you
Tear
know,
it all down.
Frank, Frank likes that. So we give Frank what he wants for Christmas. So I want to say in general, I'm enjoying General Hospital, folks. I'm actually enjoying it in general. I'm enjoying it. To me, it's way better than it has been in years. There's just some things you need to fix, but I'm so far I'm okay. This one, I was waiting. I said Tuesday. I said the 18th. I mean, 18th is tomorrow. I thought. But anyways, well, she wakes up this week. Here's the deal: Jason and Drew. You and I have talked about their lack of acknowledgement for the last couple of years. Um, when Sam died, one of the things I thought about was when they each have a kid with Sam, how are they going to address it? And before she died, she met with both of them in the same room. Thought that was very cool. So but they didn't talk to each other. And so then she dies, and we'll get to all that. But the fights that you already bring up in the chat was already bringing up already. Though it was fun to see a little something. My problem, Frank, is to acknowledge them together rather than adversarial. That's fine. I feel like this is a stretch. Jason doesn't act on emotion. So for Jason to be upset for Michael, that's why he punched Drew. And it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm having a problem with this kind of conflict. Right, Candace, it should have been Michael who punched Drew. And maybe Jason gets involved. But it was kind of like this weird. So now it's all like it's Carly in the middle. Like, oh my God, that way, like you always pick Jason. And that all's fine. But the whole punch itself to me was a stretch, Frank. That's one of the few things I want them in the same room talking to their brother. I want something going on. But I thought that was a stretch. I don't know, Frank. How do you feel about
For me, I was just down for some action to happen,
that? I think like
and so you give me just an opportunity for just a good old fashioned soaps fight. Heck yes, sign me up. So I was willing to forgive, uh, you know,
I love it, Frank. Frank's giving him a pass, not me. That's weird.
yes, yeah. I mean, when's the last time we got a real good, just kind of soaps, kind of just fight? It's been a long time.
It has.
So, yeah, and I mean, even though this fight sort of was one-sided, so it's like, uh, you know, I don't know. I feel like Drew's on a sliding scale. Sometimes he's, Mr. Navy SEAL. Then other times he's like, oh no, he's a CEO kind of guy now. So who knows? So like this fight was kind of one-sided on that. Um, yeah, I noticed like he got in one punch on Jason, but Jason was fine. He doesn't. Just a little raw knuckle, but that's it. Yeah,
Jason walked away fine. Jason walked away fine.
I mean, it is interesting to have one character whose memories are kind of shared between two people,
Yes.
and then you put Michael in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, interesting to see like Jason. I don't think would ever do anything like that to Michael.
No.
But interesting that Drew was able to kind of just push past that and say like, oh yeah, I could kiss your wife. I could sleep with your wife. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I have a problem. I'm like, I have no problem with some soapy goodness, like you said. Give me some action. That's fine. But you're right. It's like I'm saying they're brothers and they share a memory and they have, I mean, they're establishing, hi everybody, they're establishing they're two separate people, kind of. It's just weird. It's just weird. Candace
I
says, I don't know
mean,
if it's true at all. Yeah, that's just how I feel. Yeah.
the
No,
thing that really stands out to me though is it's just the absence of Monica. It's
I
just, I mean,
know.
this is the time you really want her in these scenes. She's great with both those characters, and to be
Is
able to have her more in the mix with that stuff, it's a bummer that that's just not possible.
Terrence Matthews, thank you for your $10 donation today, a super chat. I am not a fan of where I like taking Drew's character. Drew in the past would never get involved with Michael's wife. And also, Jason kind of kicked his ass. Drew should have been able to fight better. I know I'm saying if he's Jason, it was a Navy SEAL, but I know it was off guard. It was a sucker punch at first. It was off guard. because he went to go shake his hand. It was like, I mean, that was, I mean, there you go. And Lena, that face, maybe a little overacting much. There's not much. Um, but I know it's just again, yeah. You basically just said what Frank said. It's kind of weird, but Frank's game with Jay. He said he wants some action. So I mean, there you go, kids. Wants some action. Got some action. For me, it was just for me. I guess I'm the role of Frank Moran. I'm James Law Jr. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. But I agree. They mentioned Monica, and they mentioned the kids being upstairs. They like when the kids came down. They mentioned that, but that I don't know. Here's the deal, folks. We don't know. Frank and I do not know anything. We don't off camera like what's happening with Leslie Charleston. They have not said she's retired. They have not commented at all on her. So I don't know. Apparently, she's like not. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's reminding me of Tristan Rogers. We'll get into that later too. I asked something about that. I got to talk about. I don't know. They're not saying anything, and Leslie Charleston's not saying anything either. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I certainly want to be respectful to
Yeah,
all of this,
yeah.
and allow her to be as involved or not involved. I mean, that is her right. However she wants to be involved in the show. D- Certainly she's an iconic character in the show, an iconic actress on the show. Uh, but she has been, temporarily played by another actor before. I mean, would you be down for a recast?
I would.
Uh, I
If
mean,
they was it Nancy Cartwright, I think they came once, and someone else once before. Did
yeah,
it for a day or something. They've done it with Sam. They did it. They do it with Michael. They do it sometimes. I mean, pivotal scenes. I mean, the one with Michael was a pivotal scene. It was with Robert Adamson, and it wasn't Chad Duell. So I'm like, with Monica, why not? I'm like, find somebody who's really good and come on there, so we can at least have that. So we can have those because Monica is the head of the Quartermaines, basically.
yeah.
Uh, we got to see, her and Tracy. We got to see it. I would love to see that.
It feels, yeah, unfortunate, but I think her presence right now, especially if we're getting more Quartermain
Yeah,
focus on the show, which is fantastic, to not have her around as something is, it's just kind of a bummer. And, as much as I love having the original actors in the roles as much as possible, being able to recast characters rather than just writing them off as dying for, in the sh within the show as well. I mean, I just look at like Edward Quartermaine with John Ingle. I mean, great recast.
yeah.
He was, oh God, I loved him as Edward. He
Uh,
was phenomenal.
he was. Him and
It's-
David Lewis both were great as Edward. They both
yes.
were great, and they both were different,
Hmm.
and they both were great. No, I agree. I agree with you. I think I'm open to it. I don't know. Are you guys open to let's do a poll question?
Woo! Yeah.
Okay,
I
let's
just
do a
think there's
poll.
just too much stuff happening right now not to have Monica involved.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, Paul. Are you open to a Monica recast? Yes or no? Please vote in the poll while you're in here.
Please
48
vote
people are
yes.
watching. What?
Please vote
Frank,
yes.
don't influence, Frank. It's not the
Oh,
real
sorry.
election.
Sorry. No. Okay. Mm.
It's not the real election. We influence people. Um, oh, yeah, because and Thanksgiving's coming up.
Yes.
It goes, we know see again because they gotta have pizza. No, the Quartermaine stuff. I love that it's Quartermaine stuff. I love the quarter. We've been wanting them back. I love it. 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 Okay, great idea for a recast. Yeah, I think it's a great. So wow, so it's not a landslide. It's like so far people are like 60% yes, 40% no.
Interesting.
I mean, we love the show. We love it. So would you rather than just kill Monica off? Are you guys ready for that? Are we ready?
Ugh, oof,
I know,
man,
I know, I know. Well, as soon as I said it, Frank, I was like, nah.
no, I don't want to go that option. That's just no, 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 no. That's just
But Frank, it's not a land right now at 59-41, 56. It's not a landslide.
wow. That's interesting. Yeah, I would just because I feel like if to say no to that means then we're not going to really see her on camera again, and then she will be written off, and that's a bummer.
Well, this is very interesting. I mean, seriously, as the votes are coming, it's not. It's like close now. It's 53-47. I know,
man.
folks. I no, we love Leslie. If Leslie could come back,
Sure.
we'd love to have it. I'd love to have it. This is very eye opening. That's a lot of no's.
Oh man.
We get it. We get it. And I get it. But we'll keep it going. We'll keep it up for a little bit. Yeah, we're not ready for Monica to pass away. No, I'm not. No, I don't want her. I don't. As soon as I said out my mouth, I didn't like it either. I'm just saying that's the thing. I don't. Yeah.
Because it's not just the Quartermaine stuff, it's also the GH stuff too. She would
Right.
be there's places where her
Right.
character would fit on both sides.
Right. This is very. It's Frank. This is very interesting. As the votes are coming in, it's literally it's not. It's very close, like our election. But no, seriously, it's like I said, wow. Okay, I'll keep it up. You guys keep voting. We'll keep it up for a little bit, and then we'll do a final vote. We're gonna move on to something that's also part of that whole family thing, um, which is so fun. This is the part I do like. Okay, follow along, folks. Sasha and Cody are cousins. Sasha goes out to drink. Michael's upset because Willow's kissing on his uncle. He goes out to drink. Sasha and Michael sleep together. Willow and Drew at some point sleep together. You guys all following so far? So they're sleeping together. They sleep together once. Well, they will each sleep together once. I think once. Together once. Michael, oh my God. The whole kissing thing when Tracy and Ned were watching that video. Oh my God. For me, it rivals when Ned was skipping to tell on Nina. He was like, "Your life's over, bitch," and he was like skipping. And he fell into the pool. This was close second when Trish was like, "Oh," and they were like, I mean, like it was like real people, Frank. But that whole scene was, and they're just kind of watching them behind it. Everybody they're going, and he's kind of watching. That whole scene was hilarious. What do you think, Frank?
It's that whole sequence was great because thing bits of information that have been scattered around to people, and we're just wondering like, how is this really gonna be kind of paying off? And so to have it it be Cody getting hammered and
Yes.
for some reason just doing this spin, like man, it was not what I was expecting to see
No, me
Cody
either.
at the
Me
bar
neither.
and then just being so irritated by Drew and being drunk that he's like, yeah, screw this guy. Why does he get to have all this?
Yes.
Wow. Holy
Yes.
cow. I was
Yes. That was
but between that and the speed with which Tracy and Ned show him the video, want to blackmail him, Drew.
And Drew goes, I'm going to tell. But then Drew told, which I was like, I didn't expect that either.
Yeah,
Didn't expect that. I
no,
was like,
it
everything
was
was
great.
happening so fast. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah,
I
me
was like,
too.
this is the kind of pace that I want. Yes, we don't need to drag it out for like a week of Drew kind of like wrestling, like, oh, I guess I'm
Yes.
blackmailed.
Thank
But which is very similar, I feel like, to Jason. Like you can see the similarities between them because like Jason is he acts immediately as well. He's in a situation. So
Yes.
yes. So I can see why Drew's like, nope, I'm not gonna be under the thumb of Ned and Tracy.
Nope. He was like, nope. And I was like, wow. But it was funny because it was our chick with the dog that got the video.
Yeah.
She did her job. She did her job.
I
She
can
did
see
her
why she's so
job.
well regarded.
That's exactly. She got her and that dog got the scoop. Got the scoop. I was laughing so hard. I just that whole you're right. It was like bam, 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 bam. It really was like really quick. And I was like, that's very cool actually. Like I said, now just and then and now Michael knows about the one kiss, so he knows. But then before later, but he's like he knows. So like everybody kind of knows what's going on. It's like okay, but who knew Cody would be the catalyst to that storyline? Because it was leading towards Sasha being the catalyst, kind of, but literally
Mhm.
became Cody. So Cody and Sasha becoming cousins fucked up everything for the Quartermaines.
And I give full props to you because you've been saying for a while that they were leaning towards a Michael and Sasha reunion.
I told you, I said it.
I was like, no way. It just doesn't seem like that. How are we going to get to that point? And I liked how the show happened. We just cut to it, and it's the
Yep,
morning after,
that's
and
right.
we fill in the blanks on how it
That's
happened.
right. That's right,
I
kid.
was
I did say it, bitches. I said on this show, I said it. it made sense to me. It was like she's in that house for a reason. They got to do more with her in that house. I just thought her and Michael, they've been talking recently, and we're good friends. But also, then when Willow tried to step to Sasha, and Sasha was like, "No, bitch,
Yeah.
it's all you." I was like, "How?" Like, I mean, it was good. It was like, "Wow, I am your friend. You're the one who like it wasn't me. I didn't want to know you were kissing him. Like, I didn't want to know."
Yeah. And you know what Willow, so, like Sasha knew this long before Willow and her talked about it.
Yeah,
Like Sasha just snuck in and was sitting with us for a long period of time. So I could understand why before she talked to Willow, she had nobody else to talk to, so she talked to Cody.
right. So it's like she told him, and I mean, it was like, and who was Cody going to say? Cody had no reason to say anything to anybody at the time either, and he had no time to say anything. I mean, it was just like
Yeah.
you share stuff, but it was kind of like, but when Willow stuff, but it's like, but you, this is your fault. You're doing it. Don't get mad at me. I am your friend. Like, what the fuck? It was like, so I love it. I love that they had a little back and forth for a minute. It was like, okay, I know. So Michael's been with Sasha and Willow, and Willow's been with Drew, and there's all this whole pregnancy thing looming because you got Brooklyn Chase. I'm just like, oh no, what's going? I don't want all these babies. I hate. This is part of story. This is a part of storyline that I'm not a fan of. The whole baby trope. I know it moves story, and I know it brings story, and you got to propagate the kid. I get it. I don't like it.
Yeah. Before, yeah, as soon as, Sasha, it was like, we should do an X-ray. You're not pregnant or anything, are you?
I was like, ugh.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine.
How?
Uh,
Go ahead, please go, please.
the one other thing that I did enjoy too is that you, using this to kind of even further strengthen the Cody Tracy relationship, where it's like he gives Drew gives him $50,000 to stay quiet. He fills Tracy in and everything's like you should have asked for 1,000.
I know
I'm
that was
about it.
hilarious. Hilarious. No, Robbie, you should ask for 1,000. I mean, 100,000 or whatever. He's like, and he's looking at her like, what? And then she's like, we're gonna do this together.
Yes.
I love it.
Uh, yeah, it was great. I don't know. It's like the Quartermain dynamic is just so interesting because it was like, oh well, Drew's really coming into his own as a Quartermain, but also we're
Oh no, that Frank froze. Oh, you're back.
sorry.
You're back.
I'm
Okay.
back.
The quarter
Uh,
race, yes.
oh
Easy.
yes, but yes, but they'll team up. Like Tracy's all about him being like a Quartermain now, but also Cody will team up and will screw him over when the time comes as well.
That's why we love them. That's the whole point. I love when Tracy goes, "Oh, of course, you're the parent with Basasa. You're the parent you don't want to be. Like, you know what I got for my mother? Her eyelashes. They're beautiful. Thank you." But like the whole point, she's like her father. That's the whole point. I love the dialogue. I love the relationship. I love their friendship.
Yeah.
But that's what the Quartermains do. They'll come together when it's like when the outsider comes in, but they'll do stuff to each other all the time. They don't care. That's what they do, and I think it's hilarious. I think and now that Ned was in Michael's ear about you also, so they're not fighting that much right now. And she's just like, you should run Aurora. Like screw Curtis. And it's just you should run it. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Junior's so clueless. You have
Yeah.
no idea that Michael had a baby, a nanny cam, put in there, and you're screwing his wife on the floor and where the kid is.
And also, it's like I don't know why he like clearly making that offer to Michael out of guilt.
Yeah.
But so because of that, he's also going to screw over his best friend Curtis.
Right. Right.
So it's like, Drew, you're not. What are you doing?
Kurt's like, I'm gonna be a CEO. It sounds great. Curtis CEO. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but first of all, this part, so I hate the storyline too because you were a CEO of you had a club. So I don't what do you I want to build a youth center or whatever. I'm like, what? Let's see, again, there's some issues I have in the show. I'm like, we need to flesh that out a little differently. That's not grabbing me whatsoever.
That to go from Aurora, which is basically publishing, to
Yes.
then carve in this little niche of fitness and wellness, to then take it a further step forward and go like, oh, but now I want to get involved in building a music community center to be able to have music connect people. Like, huh? Okay. Like I think you could have skipped the I could have bought him going from the Savoy to music and community
Yes,
center.
yes.
The whole Aurora in the middle of it. It's like other than other than at least trying to get Curtis involved in more stuff, which I appreciate. I just don't think it's that successful.
One thing they're doing, I'm seeing, which I do appreciate, because we have to talk about Robert and Holly. They walked off into the sunset together, so to speak. And I don't, again, I don't know anything off camera, but people have noticed that Tristan's looking a little ragged here and there in real life. He's just getting people. Sometimes can be just aging. People just age, or whatever. And they haven't spoken. He hasn't said anything about it. But it looks like he's off the show. Maybe just for now. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. I like them. I liked them kind of going off together. But with Sasha, it looks like they're going to. So there's two things, Frank. So I don't know how you feel about that. But two, it looks like the Scorpios are going to try to bring in Sasha into the fold. So I think, what are you going to do with her if they're gone? But it looks like they're already answering that. It looks like they're already kind of with Felicia and Anna, and then they're going to try to bring her in. So I wonder what your thoughts on both of those things.
It's a bummer that, for whatever reasons, that Tristan wouldn't be available now. It's just only because it's like, hey, great, we're set up now that he and Sasha are, father and daughter. It'd be great to see that relationship develop on screen. Uh, but if he can't be around, and we have talked about how the show is so bloated, that you can't service all the characters all the time. I am down with because they're supposed to come back in the new year, Robert and Holly, which is great.
Oh, right,
Uh,
right, right.
yeah, so I am down with the idea of like production wise, we can't service everybody right now, and there might be some ongoing personal issues that we can't have everybody on camera right now. So for now, why don't we just exit these characters, put them together, service the fans because it's great to have Robert and Holly reunite. Fantastic. Knowing that we're not done with them, but we're not going to be able to get back to having them in the mix at all until the new year.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I almost kind of prefer it that way, dealing with those issues rather than Robert having stayed in Port Charles and Holly had left, but we don't even really get to see Robert at all.
yeah,
Because he, for whatever reasons, he's not available to be on camera. And then it seems like, well, why? And if we're not seeing any Robert and Sasha scenes anyway, then what was the point? So, at least for now, temporarily, even though it's not ideal, give
yeah,
Robert at least the Robert and Holly bit of it, a little closure.
yeah, yeah. Well, they bring her into the Scorpio fold. That'll be interesting too. She already friends with Maxie and all them. Let's at least that's a nice little, at least, because there's some characters on this show that I'm like, why are they here?
Yeah. I do like that. I just think it'll be interesting to see how the Sasha and Cody of it work because I mean they they are both being drawn into the Scorpio
I
clan.
know. So I'm in. I'm in. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I'm in. Why not? I'm in. If they bring all that in there. And I want to give a little shout out to Finola Hughes and our girl Carolyn Hennessy. We saw a different side of Diane. And I thought, because Diane's always a certain way, and we got to see twice. I'm getting to the Sam stuff. That's all sad stuff. So we'll get to that kind of like last. We can talk that kind of last. But we saw her with I almost said Nancy Grand with Alexis. That was another side we saw. And then but her with Diane and with Anna talking about Robert.
Hmm.
We already saw the Anna Holly dynamic is very interesting too. That was some interesting scenes too. It's like they're not enemies.
No.
They're kind of frenemy-ish. They're kind of family. It's like this weird thing with them and Felicia. They love Scorpio men. They've all loved Scorpio men, and I love good history. Bring up when Tristan when Robert said to Mac, "What you forgave Felicia all those times."
Yeah.
And your man, that's Frank's man. That's Frank's man, John J. York. He got quiet for a second. He couldn't say nothing.
No, he could not. That's true.
He said he kept leaving. She kept leaving you, and she did. and they mentioned Frisco, the whole thing.
Yep.
I did like that. I thought of you on that one. I thought, okay, Tristan came back. He was like, no, 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 brother, you did that with Felicia.
Yeah. It was interesting how much of that, I mean, and because he wasn't around, but Ethan wasn't around, but how much of that he was like, I was doing this for Sasha. Like, also, Ethan, do you want to like? I feel like
Right.
Ethan wasn't getting enough name checking.
She mentioned him towards the end. Holly did too,
Yes.
and so yeah, he did toward the end. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I felt like back when they were held captive by in Africa, with Holly and Anna. I felt like that was like when they're in the prison cell together. That first kind of real scene of them talking about it.
Yes,
That was a nice opening, and then this last talk in Anna's office was a nice kind of bookend to
yes,
that stuff.
completely agree. And it was just kind of like Anna's exasperated by her a little bit, but then Anna has her own past too, and then of course they both love Robert. She goes, "I love Robert. Of course I'm gonna watch him. Whether you ask me or not, I'm gonna watch him. Whether if you leave him or not." But that's the thing, and I think Diane. I know folks didn't like the pairing. I like the pairing. I had no problem with whatsoever. But now showing that Diane also loved him too on some level. This adds another layer to her. We got just another. This adds another layer to her. But I thought it was just some great acting. It's a different kind of we don't see from Carolyn that much. Being
No, I agree, and even having Anna give like the glib response about like, oh yeah, it's like you never get rid of Robert, he's running around, but then dialing into like, no, 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 Diane is really hurt right now. No, I have to talk like a real empathetic human being in this moment.
she held her hand at one point. She kind of was just like she had it kind of okay, yes, get it. Yeah. Freddie said Anna and Holly. Anna, take two, James. Jennifer 792. Anna and Holly are as frenemies is perfect, just like Robert and Duke were frenemies. Exactly. They were not. They both loved the same woman, but they didn't. But each one had nothing to do with the other, so to speak. They were different time periods, but then they all kind of overlapped or whatever. Kind of came together because Anna did love. She fell in love with Duke. I mean, that was because Robert was it's a father of her child. I mean, they're always be connected on some level. So I think that's kind of like that's what they're trying to say. And Holly was with Luke. Remember, Holly was with Luke at one point. And there was a love there, but Luke loved Laura. There was a love there, and Laura. Like, so like there's. I like that there was like they all had different loves. They all kind of cross over, but they all understand. It wasn't about the others, so to speak. They have their own histories with each other. So the Anna Holly stuff was just great. It's the same actress, same actresses. That
Yeah,
does add to it. I mean, we saw flashbacks of
that was great.
young Robert and Holly. We saw the flashback. I mean, it just, and I want to say this too. Just one second. Flashbacks are always a very interesting thing. We'll get to it later. But I have to say, when Lucky and Liz first saw each other, and she was ordering coffee, and they flashed back to them. They were so young. Oh my God, they were so young. And she was smoking cigarettes. I forgot she smoked cigarettes. It's not going to stunt your growth, smoking cigarettes. And I thought that was the perfect use of a flashback. It was quick, it was just like reminding you kind of I love when flashbacks are used effectively. You love flashbacks anyway, but just like when they're used part of the story. It was a great thing. But we saw Robert and Holly young and how they were in love. And I thought for folks who weren't there and folks who didn't know, now you're getting a glimpse. And those of us who were there, we got reminded.
No, that was phenomenal. Yeah,
And Emma Samms looked great. Emma Samms looks good. That long COVID did well for her because she looked good.
yeah.
I like she looks good.
Building off of that, I want to ask you, how are you feeling? There's like this kind of ambiguity about the Jason Anna relationship. How are you enjoying that? Are you enjoying them kind of being in this kind of grayish area?
I do. I know we had this talk like 2 months ago, I think, and I suggested something, and the chat went bonkers. And I love it. Go bonkers. I don't care. I love it. I love soapy stuff, and to me, Jason and Robin have been years ago. I mean, like we're talking a grillion years ago. And again, we looked it up. They're not that far in age in real life. Not that far. Anna's a little Fernando's a little older, but not that by that much. Um, and I love that this is not something frivolous. They went through some serious stuff together. And he's a newer Jason. We're seeing that he's kind of straight. He's kind of a newer Jason a little bit. He's still the same Jason, but he's kind of the newer Jason. And I never thought I would. I see chemistry. I see it. I'm glad they haven't done anything yet. I don't mind a slow build on this one because they're still interacting with each other. All this stuff is going on. They're still having to interact with each other. But I actually I like it. See, I like it. I don't folks don't like it. I like it.
Would you rather see a Jason Anna pairing or a Jason Sasha pairing?
See, people bring up say so. Is there were they chem testing? I don't know. I didn't see that. Usually, I know they were chem testing Molly with the black dude, Isaiah. I was like, they chem tested hard on that one, Little Women and all that stuff. We'll get to that in a second too. But I know some people online saying about Sasha. Are they chem testing? I didn't know they were. I don't know.
Tough.
I didn't feel it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, tough to say given the context of the scene where it's like
Yeah,
I'm racing in to save you and we just chat for a second afterwards. So tough to say. It would depend on if we see any follow-ups that I
yeah,
think that maybe they would be possibly kept testing them.
yeah. So I don't. Angel, Angel Blue. I love you. But on soap opera, people be with their daughter, brother, sister, cousin, grandfather. Um, hello, Brooke Logan on Bro to Beautiful has been with what? The father, three of the sons, and then a half brother, all from the same family.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also slept with her daughter's husband. Had a kid. This happens all the time on subs.
Yeah. Again, stuff that we would not be like all for in real life,
Yeah.
but
Oh
you'd
yeah.
watch on soaps because of the craziness that you would never see anywhere else.
Yeah. Oh, Angel goes, I need Robin's phone call opinion on Anna and Jason. Yeah, I wouldn't mind her being upset about it, of course. I mean, it'd just be kind of weird for her. Always be weird for her. Be kind of fun. Um, keep him away from Anna and Sasha, even as a friend. Jennifer's not having it either way. I don't think I don't I like Frank said, I need to see more. I don't think Jason and Sasha. I think he's just saving her. I don't think they're. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. I feel like they're going towards Michael. I feel like they're going that direction. I don't see that. I feel like Jason and Anna are the ticket
Yeah,
because
because I feel
Carly
like
is. Go ahead.
if you open up the Jason Sasha door, then you're kind of leading to something that is already happening with Willow and Drew to Michael.
Right. Right. But also remember, um, I still hear that Carly and Jason will be endgame at some point, but then we got Carly and John Brennan. And it's working hard. I mean, their chemistry is like off the charts to me. It's off the charts. It works. I loved their discussion the other day about friendships, and I thought it was kind of cool. And he was trying to get her. Let me call her darling and so on. He's not being smart there, but I think he really does like her. I think he really does. And so there's something about her that he really is into, and she likes him. She likes it. He's hot. Come on, Brennan's hot. She likes him. So I have a feeling. So I'm okay with that. Let's do Carly Brennan, and let's see, and Sasha with Michael, and then Jason. I see Jason and Anna. I'm sorry. That's what I'm seeing. I'm just because some folks will see this, and some folks. What's your name? Frank. Liaison fans got a little piece of moments when Liz talked to Jason, check on him.
Yeah, but as long as Lucky's for real in the picture, it's tough for me to get invested in a liaison sort of thing.
You really don't think what if Jason and they start talking again? You're not thinking no.
I mean, I always think that they will talk, but I don't think it would ever go beyond that. I think at least while Lucky's on the canvas, at least this iteration, I think it would take Lucky leaving town again and not being around, whenever that happens in 1 or 2 years for them, and Jason's not involved with anybody else, and Jason's still on the show, that maybe we would move in that direction.
I'm gonna disagree with Frank
Oh,
completely
all right.
because here's my reasoning
Lay it on me.
because I love Rick and Elizabeth too. Look, remember she has three men on right now that are her exes, but Rick seems like he's going towards Ava, and I kind of like it.
For sure. Absolutely.
Their chemistry's off the chart. Okay, I'm going to stop for a second. So I'm going to put a pin in that for a second. I want to do a little praising of Rick Hurst. Bringing him back on the canvas is the bomb. That was one of the best things because he's such a morally ambiguous character. You can put him anywhere, and screw the Martins and all them. He's a lawyer. I'd rather see him every day. And that scene with him and Jason, I couldn't stop laughing. I mean, I just see with Drew, where he's like, okay, so what did you do? What did you do? When he's like, I slept my way. And his face was like, but then when it's Jason, you want to hit me, don't you? Then he flinched. Oh my God,
Yes.
I couldn't stop laughing. Like, oh my God. Rick Hurst. Say a few words about Rick Hurst. What do you think about Rick Hurst? I just want to get a
Uh,
little more. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's back.
he adds just the right amount of dickishness that you want,
Yes, yes,
uh,
yes,
while having these kind of moments of redeeming qualities because he cares about Molly.
yes,
He
yes,
cares about Elizabeth. Uh,
yes.
so he has these characters that he does care about, which makes you feel like, oh yeah, he's not just like a one note sort of person at all, which makes all those scenes fantastic. And the relationship that's kind of developing between him and Ava, absolutely here for it. That conversation of him kind of mock grilling her,
Yes.
like her that you would see in her trial, great. Great to see what he said, and then great just to hear how Ava responded, and just getting some more insights on Ava.
And you
Loved it.
saw it, and you saw his face. The way that Rick reacted to what's her Mara West. The way she was like, I would never put that. I've lost a daughter. I would never put that pain on another mother. Um, I believe her.
Yeah.
I mean, he believes her too. He's like, I mean, even though he's coaching her, but I think he really believes her. Like, she wouldn't do that. Like, not really. She wouldn't do that. And I think he believes her.
Yeah, before we delve more into that, I would say the one thing that kind of popped up on me is with as they're saying Robert is on a leave of absence right now.
Yeah,
They're going to need somebody to step in as the DA. I was like,
right.
put Rick in. Why not have Rick? Rick is the
I agree.
perfect person to put it. I don't know if Laura would go for it.
Right.
It's still it makes sense to have. I mean, who else would you have else on the canvas that would be as fun story wise than Rick Lansing in there?
I agree. Okay, that's the thing. We did a little praise Rick Hurst minute. We're gonna go back to answering Frank's question why I disagree with him. Okay, I see they moved Rick. I can see Rick with Ava because I thought for sure he was for Liz. But I kind of see him with Ava.
Mhm.
Jason, and who else? Oh, and Lucky. I can see Lucky with somebody else. I really can. I don't. I think Liz and Lucky, if they don't put them back together, I can see that also. That you can't go back home. Like they were high school sweethearts. They were in love years ago. Now it's about raising Aiden on some level. I can see them. I don't know who they put him with. They haven't camp tested with anybody. He hasn't with
Yeah.
anybody. So I think part of the problem for me maybe is he signed a long-term contract. So I mean, so Jonathan Jackson's going to stay, but they haven't revealed to us if he's going to stay and what he will do. He had to talk with Sonny. He had to talk with Isaiah. He had to talk with he's having these talk. Liz gave it to him. I was like, that's right, Liz. He's like, I'm not going to give you permission to leave. You're going to leave, going to leave. But I know she admitted she was into Lucky, but I'm saying just saying that she doesn't have to go with Lucky. They don't have to. They don't have to go there. They don't have to go there. I mean, I think she still likes Rick a little bit too. I think she likes Jason a lot. I think she likes all of them. But two of them are the father of her children. So there's a little something there. But I can see them. I mean, I can see them putting them somewhere else. So I'm saying I can see them not putting them together and maybe working. I know Liaison fans want Jason and Liz together for the longest time. It has not happened. I'm not saying it's happening. I have no idea. But that scene was kind of like, oh, okay, she does care about him. And there's something there. So I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know. So I mean, but I'm saying Liz has of course she has conflicting feelings about Lucky, of course. That was love of her life at one point.
Yeah.
But you bring back Nicholas, who knows what would happen there? I mean, like she loved Nicholas at one point too. Remember? So I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's an embarrassment of riches for Liz right now. I think
Yeah. It's because like yeah, you're right, James. And we know that Jonathan Jackson has signed like, a
his side,
longer term contract.
yeah,
But I guess I do as so like of course he's gonna have to stick around.
yeah,
Uh, but I guess on one hand, I guess I kind of do appreciate how they're at least taking us a little bit through the steps because for the way the character has been presented on camera, who spent so much time out of Port Charles, that they really have to come up with like a solid reason for why this character, who is, so much like his father in the sense of like, am too restless. I can't stay at one place at one time. I need to be doing stuff to lock him in for, how for a while in Port Charles.
Yeah, they're not. You're right. They're not giving us much. So I guess we're gonna walk through it. I was happy to see him and Isaiah talking. I'm like they're like best friends. I was waiting for to see him talk. Giving Isaiah obviously an offer to stay. I'm not surprised by that also. But kids, I don't know. I mean, okay, homegirl's thirsty. You can tell she's hungry.
Yeah.
Jordan was just like, she's like, here's dinner. She was ready. But when they had him and Molly together for her birthday, I was like, I mean, everybody was talking. People were sending me texts like, "You see Molly and Isaiah?" I said, "No, I hadn't watched the show yet. I was busy doing something else." And I watched it. I saw it too. The
I
chemistry was there. I mean, like it was. I mean, like it was there.
When I saw the preview for the day before, I thought the way Molly was acting was going to be Dex
Me
in
too. No,
Bobby's,
me too.
given what we've seen so far. So when
Yeah.
it turned out to be Doc Gannon there, I was like, huh? Oh, okay, sure. And this was just like a little quick intro. This was like, hey, let's just get to know each other. So I don't,
Smiling.
so are we getting into
The folks who are
a
listening to this,
Molly?
I'm smiling right now. The folks who are listening to this, I'm smiling right now as Frank is talking. You can't see it.
No,
Uh,
he's even licking his lips.
I,
So
I am because don't say I'm like you. I'm like it's me, Dex. That's what they were. That's what they were leading us towards. This was a total surprise. Which, thank you. I want surprises. I don't
yeah.
want. I don't want to predict it either. I don't want to predict. I mean, the previews are supposed to give us little pieces. Sometimes you can't predict. You can tell. But I'm glad when I can't predict. And it's like all of a sudden you're like, yeah, Dr. Gannon, really? And I'm like, they haven't met before. I was like, oh no, they haven't met. Why would they meet? There's no reason for them to meet. I'm like, oh yeah. So it was. I loved it.
And
Loved it.
and are you as fan? Have you read Little Women, James?
Actually, I have. And what's really funny is I liked both versions, the original version and the version that came out later with Winona Ryder and all them. I like both versions. It's not my favorites at all in the world, but I like it.
Nice. All right.
Have you read it? You know what?
I have not.
Yeah, that's fine. I want Jordan to have a man. I know we'll see when Drew, so Drew won, of course. So when Jordan showed up, they look like a good little couple, but Drew is so icky right now. It's like we can't have Jordan and Drew together. We can't.
Yeah. And it is interesting for all this big buildup. They just cut to like, oh no, he won the election. There
Yeah.
was really no drama to that at all. Giving his
Are
acceptance
you are
speech.
you okay with that? For me, I'm kind of like that's fine. I don't need to see anything.
Depending on what Cameron Matheson's deal is with the show, if he's
Yeah,
doing more Christmas movies or stuff like that for was it like America's Home and Heart Network or whatever, wherever it is.
you
Uh,
know, speaking of networks, it's not, it's called Great American Family TV. Home and Heart. I mean, that's something totally different. But yes,
yes.
I know what you mean. Yes, go ahead.
So if he's doing movies for them, I mean, that is having him be a senator that also has to spend a lot of time in DC does work well into that kind of production schedule. So you can why he would be gone for periods of time and not people not wondering.
Yeah.
So
But you got Nina going. But you got Maxie going. Nina, have you told anybody you slept with homeboy? Have you told your daughter? I'm like, why'd you tell? Oh my God. I mean, that's why it's so messy because Willow can't judge because she doing whatever with him. Sasha can't judge because she do. Nobody can judge. Like Michael said, I can't judge either. Really, I mean, I slept with Sasha. Like I cheated on my wife. I love that. It's just like it's messy. I love that it's messy.
no. I did love how Michael. Oh, you just watched that video on the nanny cam, just sitting there in the Quartermaine foyer,
Yep,
just checking it out.
yep. And look at some porn. That's that. I just wonder how all Jews Affair is going to come. I know it's crazy. It's like it is just like I love it. I love that it's complicated. There's so many things. I mean, it's just a powder keg of just explosion after explosion that can happen. So
I,
it's going to be very interesting.
I honestly thought when Michael came home and he just stood outside his front door and he saw Drew and Willow on the inside, and he turns around and he pulls out his phone. I really thought he was going to pull up that video again and just
I
watch
know.
it again.
Yeah, I know. And
Uh,
once again,
now,
it's like look at them. They're making
but
love.
what I do like though is that it's not like a 180 on Michael, and he's like, I'm now going to destroy Drew and Willow. That there, he is like, oh well, we've done stuff on. I've been dishonest. I've withheld stuff. She's withheld stuff. That it is not like an easy situation for Michael to kind of process.
Yeah, he's having a hard time with it, and I like that
Yeah.
actually.
Oh,
And
the one thing that did bug me though was Michael and Sasha, which I applauded. We see them the morning after in the hotel room, but Michael's first thing was trying to assess like who is to blame for this happening. Get out of here, Michael. So like who's the fault for this, huh?
both of you,
Oh, shut up,
oh,
Michael.
oh
Shut up.
Michael, you both did the deed, so that is both of you. Brennan wanted to use the congressman too for has to be a foreshadowing. I know something going on there. Let Molly have Dex. Well, I mean, I don't know what's going on because again, I mean, they showed Molly and Isaiah, and I'm like, that'd be a interesting triangle: Molly, Isaiah, and TJ's mother.
Oh, there you
That'd be
go.
very interesting. I'm there for that. So I mean, I don't want Molly and Dex together. I mean, they have chemistry, but I'm like, I'll leave them alone. Go somewhere else. I don't really care for them together. I'm actually more intrigued by this thing because they're playing Jordan so thirsty for this man.
Yes.
Woo! They are just like they are. She had a little slicky long dress on. I don't know. She was just like just waiting for him afterwards, and asking about him. Is he gonna stay? What's gonna happen? I'm like, okay, girl. She is like salivating. She can't
I mean,
wait.
she might as well just offer that to like, as an incentive on his offer package from GH. Like you take that, you also get me. So,
Right, you're right. It's like, It's like, So
well,
I mean,
then
I
it's
don't.
fine.
Yeah. So it just it's I'm liking it. So they're integrating him. So it's kind of like okay, that's okay. I'm following. I'm following. Um, we also had a great scene the other day. We actually had Trina and TJ talking. They was getting together a long. She was like, it's been like a long time. Like, yeah, folks, it's been like a long time. We actually saw them together. The gym's back apparently, so that was the whole thing. And I got to ask Frank, folks. Um, there's some new black men in town. There's some new black men in town. There's like several. That one guy got
Yeah.
his little episode, but now we got Mr. Tall, Mr. Tall, handsome man who plays Kai, the famous football player. Are you liking Trina being feisty and fighting him, and you like that?
Uh,
Do we care?
so far, not excited.
Okay.
I right now I feel like Kai is one of the actors that we've seen on the show before that comes in a little green, and we got to see him really kind of grow a little bit. So coming in right now, you're just kind of like, all right. But he could very well develop into something great. So, uh, yeah, uh, I, sure, and somewhere Geo sits playing his violin.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's where okay, that's where Frank brings it up, and that's where you guys were talking in the chat too. I don't know if what Geo's purpose is right now. He kind of comes. He's in the Quartermaine house. He shows up for different things. Um,
I do like Geo though, how they've been playing him recently is bits of comic relief. He will
yes,
come in and say something inappropriate or
yes,
off, like off topic, and then
yes,
just leave. Or people throw him out of a scene, which is
yes.
great. All right, so I am down with that.
Well, but it places the whole Quartermaine house being full, so I like that part. And stuff. I still don't think they're gonna do with him.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's him, Natalia, both. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing with them. It's a weird. The pacing's weird on them, and it's just like they're being thrown into scenes.
it's as much as I love her and I want her on the show, but we got to figure out what's going on with Lois too.
Yeah, there was a whole weird thing about you can't keep a secret. But it was kind of interesting that she's in this house and everybody's keeping a secret from her. That part I kind of like that a little bit. It's kind of like yeah, there's something you can tell something's going on in your house. You're like, and no one's saying anything. Like that part was interesting. But again, yeah, what are we doing with her?
Yeah, because that is a character unlike Ned, where it's tough to constantly do stuff with him because
Yeah.
while Wally's on both shows. Like,
Yes.
Renee is just on this show. So we could do more stuff. What about a social life? What about a potential romance? I thought that we were maybe heading that direction when Jagger was still on the show. And they had
Yeah.
that nice long chat in Bobby's, but that never really panned out. So I
Um,
mean, down for something.
Angel Blue, you have to remember, Gio was hired through the last writing regime. So this is a whole new writing regime. So there may have been a plan, but then it's been changed. So right now he's floundering. But I mean, or they may have a plan for him, just haven't got to him yet. But I'm just saying, remember, he was hired back when it was a different writing regime. So they may. It looked like they were going towards a Josh or making it Brooklyn Sun or all kind of stuff. They were, but that was like several writers ago. So I'm saying now it just seems like they're taking they decided to keep him for now. Instead, they just got to figure out what to do with him. I think, but I think there was a plan at some point. I don't know, but it got. You have to remember it got changed. And same with Lois. Lois was supposed to be on for like 30 episodes or something like that, and that was it. They decided to keep her, which is great. But she's an Emmy-winning actor. She's her caliber. I mean, she should be doing more.
Yeah.
Should be doing more. And that's the whole point. It's like, yeah, right now he serves no real purpose. And so we just need to see what. And same with Natalia. She was hired a previous writing regime before too. They got rid of the homegirl. Now she's still on it. Clearly want to keep Eva LaRue, another Emmy-winning actress, and the whole thing. But it's kind of like we got to figure out what to do with her too.
Before we segue more into that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
my last thing that I want to mention is I'm down with, in terms of Jason and where he's at in the show. And, still pals with Sonny, but not, at least in this iteration, not so heavily involved
No,
in his operations.
no.
I am down. Let's just pull the trigger on getting him more involved with Brennan. Like, I know he's reluctant and he's always telling Carly to not trust him. But, just doing this off book sort of thing that he did, and he helped out with the Holly situation and the Sidwell thing. Like, yes, let's just get them working together because that seems more interesting.
I love the Sidwell thing was fast. I loved it. It was quick.
Yeah, but then, like, I mean, I guess he was captured and he's being held somewhere. Like, that whole part just seemed ambiguous at the end.
That doesn't bother me. That's fine because he's a character. I like the actor, so I'm like,
Yeah.
he's a character that could really come back and do all kinds of stuff. To Jason, to Anna. I mean, like the guy's good. I like the guy. As I said, for me, I like that it didn't take 2 or 3 weeks. So it's just like he's in. Him and Sasha talking were kind of funny. The whole thing about her mother. He's like, it's okay, Robbie. Like, and he didn't really fall for it. He's like, but it was just like he's a character that I don't mind him being ambiguous and like almost a Jerry Jacks esque type of person. It's like we need those characters out there somewhere, kind of floating, so you can bring them in. On side note, on Y&R, they brought back somebody. I did not know they were bringing them back. Again, there's very few secrets on soaps. He was my guy from Twin Peaks, but Ray Wise is back on Young and Restless, and it was like, oh, he's back. He was a great villain on Y&R several years ago. He had a stint. He played on there, but he was so good on Twin Peaks. That's my man on Twin Peaks. But he's back. So it's like we got a surprise at the end of the episode on Friday. Like, what? He's back, and that's how it ended. So I like having the characters kind of out there. They're not posing a threat immediately at you, but they're just kind of, I don't know. And Sidwell, to me, put him out there with the rest of them. He's out there. Let's see what happens. But I just love that it was a quick, fast to her. Just like, we're going to get this taken care of. And it was just like, that's it. I didn't need anything lingering. And I just, no, for me, it was just, I feel like I'm Frank all of a sudden. I feel like I'm saying things you would say. I'm like, it's quick, it's great, that's it, I'm good, I'm good. Uh, Sidwell's a good villain. Yes, I agree. I think it is. We're gonna get to we're gonna soon get to all the sad stuff. I just want to do all the other stuff first because the second half of the show we're talking about the whole Sam, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. But yeah, so that was good. I was trying to think. Besides all the sad stuff, did we talk about everything so far? I'm trying to think. Because everything
Uh,
else is related to Sam's death. So
I think so.
you guys,
Uh,
while you're thinking about, I'm gonna answer this real quick. Um, Marvin, hi, good to see you. There's no right now. We don't have a date for a Bone Beautiful Minute Spotlight return yet. We have no date yet. But stay tuned. I mean, I saw you asked earlier, but I was busy talking about General Hospital. But yeah, we don't. I don't have a date or anything yet.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the only thing we really have coming up on the horizon is Jason and Spinelli trying to find Valentine. And the whole thing, like, if you find, Brennan saying, if you find him, it's not going to be good for Anna.
Right.
Uh, yeah, that'll be interesting to
Ike
see.
Thomas says, "I like Sidwell laughing." Larry's like, "Reese was a good villain." Chelsea Brown, hi Chelsea Brown, says Jason and Jack Brennan are working together. It's interesting to see them working together besides Jason or Sunny. Yes. Well, seeing Jason outside of somebody with somebody else is always interesting.
Yes.
Um, I'm going to end the vote now. 63 votes, Frank. We have 75 people watching. 63 votes. Are you open to a Monica recast? 50%, blah, blah, blah. 56% yes. 44% no. So it's not a landslide. It's almost even.
Wow. Interesting.
That's right. Actually, to me, it's really interesting. That you guys, there's half of you guys are saying, I don't want to recast. You want Homegirl. No, we agree. We'd love to have Homegirl, but I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
story misses Monica.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, heck, if Leslie was hale and hearty and wanted to be back,
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff that can be done with her.
Oh
But
my God, plenty. But
if she's not, I would rather have that character on the show with another actress.
killer.
Yeah.
But it's funny. You guys voted. We believe in a fair and democratic voting system.
Oh, thank you, Elon.
Breaks the tyrant. I'm not. I could be swayed because I said I could be swayed. Go with the flow of Monica. But I mean, I think if a good recast comes on, like somebody good comes on, you guys, all the ones you said no might be swayed. It was
Yeah.
somebody good. But the story is good, the writing is good, and it's a good actress. I think that yes, I think anybody can be swayed. I think
Yeah.
anything.
You just think if you could get somebody that did like John Ingle with Edward Quartermaine,
Yeah,
somebody that could that elevated the role like that, if you applied that sort of mentality to a recast of Monica, would
yeah,
you be more open to it?
yeah. Audrey is still out there alive too, right? She's out there. They didn't kill her off either. There's several characters they didn't kill off.
Yeah.
So, like on Bold and Beautiful, Sally Spectra, the original, she's out there by a cabana with Cabana Boy. Like they didn't kill her. So the Stefano Demira is not dead. He's out there somewhere, just out there. So some shows they do that. I kind of, even though the actors are dead in real life, they kept them alive. It's kind of that the aura of them is out there, and so I don't mind Monica just being out there until I don't know. Hope there's more Sidwell. Yeah, Sidwell does. No, to me, it was a good. Frank and I said last time, we think it was a good villain. That was actually it was a nice. It was like okay, they got a good actor in here. And they have recently. With Jack Brennan too. I love the name is Charles Leisure. I love him.
Yeah.
He's really and he's playing all these different notes. He's playing like he really is. He can be ruthless, but also he can be sympathetic. But he
Yes.
also is a mercenary. Like he's like there are things he's doing. I like there's different sides to him.
For sure. I kind of dig it. And in the absence of like a Tristan Rogers, he does give that, that kind of, that silver fox kind of
Yes,
international agency intrigue
yes,
angle to the show.
yes. I agree with you on
Uh,
that.
before we get to the sad stuff, I
Okay.
don't know. I would almost push back and like, I don't know if I would put Monica up there with a Sally Spectre or a Stefano Demira in terms of a character that, it's like, hey, it's just great to just know that they're out there. I don't know. No, not with Monica. No, not with Monica. I feel like, you know, Stefano as such a kind of bad guy. Yes, there's always that stuff, but I don't know. Monica's not that type of character, and so I don't know. I don't think that it serves. I don't think anybody could watch the show now. Maybe they would, but at least for me, I don't feel the show is better just having Monica just name checked constantly. I always feel like, oh, I wish I saw her. I wish she was here. So I don't think she has that sort of that same kind of quality as a character that just name checking her and like the essence of her out in the universe is enough. I feel like this is a character that either needs to be in the show and really
Or off.
mixing it up, or we do finally say goodbye.
Yeah. Okay. I can actually. I don't entirely disagree with you, Matt. I don't. I like that. I'd love to have her on the show. I mean, I'd love to have her on the show.
Yeah.
Jennifer says, I agree. They can't leave Monica in her bedroom or at a conference. I expect to make a decision next year. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like I said, I don't know any information about what her status is in real life or what she wants to do, or I have no idea. Oh,
Yeah,
and we've
because
been very
you
clear.
know she would be there would be scenes of her right now with Jason, with Drew, when
Yeah, no,
she's
yeah.
finding out that these brothers are like against against each other, trying to you know
Yeah.
mediate, reconcile. Oh, I would her and Tracy butting heads.
Oh, I mean, I'm with it. I mean, I agree. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. I think this barbecue
All
sauce.
what seems to be an upcoming medical mystery, which I guess would be a nice segue into what we're going on to like what seems to be happening at GH, where shady things may be happening medically.
Well, here's what's funny. So in real life, there was some reports. And I don't know how true. Again, I don't know how true this is or not. Um, you got the GH is in trouble, ratings wise, all kind of stuff. So I don't know for sure whether it's all true or not. To me, I think it's better than it's been in years. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what ABC Disney is going to do with it. So people ask me questions, I don't know any of that stuff. I've read a few things here and there. Some things you got to watch out what you read. Some of the stuff is not true. Some of the stuff is completely just like they present it as true for clickbait, but then they're just speculating like everybody else. So just always watch what you read about these soap operas. So make sure I say that. But I have no idea. But to my knowledge, it's still on the air for a couple more years for sure. So I don't know. After that, I don't know. We'll find out. And it's always in the top 10 in Hulu every day it gets released. So it's doing fine on Hulu. So I think it's great. Um, so now I did some when I was thinking about doing the show. I was like, do I want to start? I said I think I want to start with this sad stuff last because I think everybody's talked about it so much online. But we have to talk about it because it's part of our show. We have to talk about it. Give our opinion. People want to know our opinions. But I thought let's go through all the other stuff first, and so we have now. And this is hour 5 of Jason Smile at Me. Um, I feel like we only been on here for we've been on here 81 minutes. Wow, okay. And hello to the 76 people who are watching. I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. I'm almost at 6,000 subscribers, but I think all of you guys are here. I see some new names I've seen before. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. And check it out.
You're
And
doing yourself a disservice if you don't.
yeah,
All the
exactly.
other quality JLJ media content that it could be yours to enjoy.
Yes. Super chats are welcome. If you want to get some super chats, it all goes towards JLJ Media products and things I have going on. I'm working on a lot of stuff right now, so working out. I will never understand, TSL, I will never understand fans when GH canceled and not getting their way. I agree with you. That to me is the dumbest thing on earth. I've said that. Sometimes shows don't go the way you want them to go to, whether it's soaps or not. You have an option to watch or not watch, and that's it. But I would never wish to show off the air.
Yeah.
I just it's a lot of jobs, and I just wouldn't do that.
In terms of any long running, especially soaps, where it's so long running, there are
Yes,
going to be times where you're loving where the show's going. And there's going to be times where you're going to be hating where the show's going. But everything is cyclical.
yes,
There's ebbs and flows, ups and downs, and so to just fully say, to be saying you would rather not have a show at all, rather than just not watch a show while you're not currently enjoying it. I mean, I feel
right.
like that's certainly your choice, but why don't wish it because at some point you're going to you wish that show would have been back, and you just sat there saying, get rid of it.
No, everybody has their rights not like certain things. Trust me, we expressed over 9 years. We expressed all the things we like and don't like about the show.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
mean, everybody has the right to. But I'm watching it, and some months were hard to watch. But I would never wish it off. That's like I said, it's jobs and just a lot
Yeah.
of stuff.
I mean, look at James and I switched positions on a lot of stuff even just this episode.
I know. No,
So
they
there
do.
you go. Ups
It
and
happens.
downs. Everybody's got a little different thing.
Cats and dogs are living together. That's a whole thing, you guys. I hope you guys remember the 80s. I think Frank gets it. Having a conversation about alien shows is good. Yes, Medora. Hi, Medora. I know you. Chelsea Brown. See you subscribe. Thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate it. Thank you. We appreciate it. Okay. I have to say, and I said before it was gonna happen anyway. I said Sam's death it crosses an umbrella story. It's tied into Lulu, of course, but even if it wasn't tied into Lulu, it crosses so many characters. So I think Frank and I had acknowledged the last time we were on, it's gonna. We know the performances are going to be good, right? We know they're going to be good. We know they're going to work it out. And boy, have they not disappointed. And for me, they have not disappointed. And I will start with you got my Ghostbusters reference. Yes, I know that. That's one of my favorite movies. Nancy Lee Grahn comes to mind first. I mean, and I'm talking like this is like what week 3 or 4 since Sam's been dead, like or 3 where every day, every I feel like she lost a daughter for real. Like the just it's her acting is so natural, and it's just you're like, wow, Nancy, like you really tapped into something, and like it's I mean from her being right there to her going in afterwards. And she's a blanket, that whole thing, trying to get her warm, to just falling apart in front of her kids, to just her and Don. I mean, we're going to talk about all this stuff, but I'm just in general, Frank. I would say if we're about the storyline, I have to say Nancy Grahn comes first into this whole storyline.
Yeah, she's I mean, well, hard to not surprising to say that she's amazing in her performance. So, and makes it easy. I mean, character of Sam has been on the show for a long time, so easy to take your feelings that you've I'm sure developed with Kelly and just easily transfer, it to this where feel like you're saying goodbye to her. Uh, on screen, not in real life, but still tough tough to say goodbye to a character that you've been playing, alongside with for so long.
There is. I'm going to do a Dallas reference for a second, folks, because her performance reminded me of this. Because Nancy Grahn in real life has offered her support of Kelly online and said a few things here and there. When Larry Hagman died, and it's been very well known that Larry Hagman, Patrick Duffy, and Linda Gray are friends in real life. They were friends for like 30, 40 years in real life. And that's how I felt when they did the JR death episode. If you guys go on YouTube, you can watch it. Patrick Duffy and Linda Gray's performance were so real. Like Nancy, it was almost like I know that they claimed they were acting. Obviously, they're acting, but you can almost feel the real life friendship too. Like Frank just said, you're transferring your feeling. It probably wasn't hard to get to those feelings
Hmm.
because they missed their friend. So as us as watchers, we got to witness these great scenes. And I'm telling you, Patrick Duffy crying in his drink after reading JR's letter, to me, I lose it. Or Linda Gray doing her speech at the grave, you lose it. And I feel like Nancy Grahn is giving those kind of performances where it's like, we know it's acting. It's obviously acting. I mean, we know it's acting. But like Frank said, I agree with him. I think it probably wasn't hard for her. And this is also the great thing about having the same actress, for the most part, play the same roles, um, to have them act. And I just was blown away from, yes, the Diane and Alexis conversation. Another one.
Yeah.
She goes to
Uh,
work. And go ahead, please
which
go ahead.
side note, just for that, I do love. Clearly, we're going to be spending a lot of time in Alexis and Sam's
Yeah, I love the
or
office.
Diane's office. Yeah,
Yes,
boom,
it's a great
office
office.
set. All
All the
right,
books, like it's like Frank's place. All the stuff on the wall,
there you go.
the cases. I know, I love it. They're facing each other. I love that. I think it's so funny. The computers at each other. Um, I think the Alexis Diane, where she came to work and Diane didn't get on her.
Yes.
She understood, but she understood. No, she was like, I don't understand what you're going through. Like I don't know that, but I understood. I know you. As a
Yeah.
friend, they like when people know you, they don't get on top of you. Everybody else was like, "Why are you doing later?" She was just like, "I'm like," but you saw Diane was like, "I gotta say something. You gotta say something." But she was respectful, and you could tell Alexis totally appreciated that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need like the 15th or 20th person asking, "How are you doing?"
You're
Like,
right.
yep, you know what that answer is going to be. So I like that. And I was like, I'm not even going to ask these kind of things. We're just going to just chill and we're just going to take it at your pace.
Yes. Her, there's just so many scenes with her. So we'll get to her in a second. The second person we got to talk about in the storyline is Dante. Dominic Sempronia, to me, has done some wonderful work. The guy who loves Lulu and is happy the surgery went through, but he's in love with Sam, and he proposed to her, and now she dies. And having Sonny, to me, I like again, quiet work from Maurice, just supporting Alexis and supporting Dante. It's Him and Alexis have always had a kind of relationship, so it made sense. But him really being there for his son and knowing what it's like to lose people, and it wasn't all about him. He literally was just like there for Dante. But I would say Dominic just did again major great work. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I appreciate Maurice more in these sorts of
Yes,
moments, uh, rather when he gets into like some kind of pity spiral or anything like that about some of in his own storylines. But when he is there for the people that he cares about, and he's able to, be outside of himself and focus on someone else, always enjoy. Oh, those are the scenes where I feel like Maurice really kind of delivers. Uh, you know, um, boy, the stuff with Dante, you know, as much as I was not a huge fan of the Sam character, she didn't do much for me. But I was down with the Sam Dante pairing. Worked out, and I felt like they'd been together enough that the way the family is tied, connected, the way that other people in the community see them as a family, uh, makes it like all this stuff that's happening very heartbreaking for everybody to be having to go with. And so it does, it leads to some really great scenes and really some really sticky situations in terms of storytelling and how we handle, the family unit. I mean, how do you spread up Rocco, Danny, and Scout? I mean, there's three fathers involved, not just one, and there's a grandmother involved.
grandma.
How do you handle all this? I feel like there's no easy answers. Like everybody's, nobody's gonna come out of here with like the perfect solution for this, which is gonna,
That's why I love it. It's they're addressing that. They're like there are three fathers, and then Nancy Grand. Alexis is the grandmother, and she's like, wait a minute, I want them to live with them. These two live with me. But even having Jason and Steve Burton's work's been great. Okay, it's just so much to go around. Okay. We'll get so we have that. Then I want before I get to Jason, they mentioned in the chat room. I do want to mention Finn Francis Carr is his name, who plays Rocco. His stuff with Jeannie Frank, Laura. Oh, Mark Tester, great find. Great find. Oh my God. Wherever you found this kid, they're in the chapel. Amazing scenes.
yeah, like
Amazing writing.
before he was just fine. Like, he was fine
Yeah.
in a sense, but put him in that chapel scene with Jeannie. Holy cow. My goodness. I was like, that was conversations I was not expecting to happen and
Right.
was really interested to watch.
Right. Oh my God. Frank, again, I agree with you. So shocked, like I was, I was jealous and blah blah. It was just real stuff. They talked about real stuff.
Yeah.
And Laura, and, Jean Francis, can't do no wrong anyway. But she just, phenomenal actress. He held his own, and Jeannie just listened and did her thing. It was like the grandmother. It was like I believed their relationship, and she supported him. He was the lead in those scenes, and to give this kid, like I said, we see this kid before. Okay, no big deal. He came out, so to speak, not Aiden,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. His it was just such a wonderful um, type of conversation that Frank said we don't really have, and it was real, it was realistic, and her just reassuring him, you did, it's not your fault. It's okay to feel a little jealous. It's okay, like all that stuff. But I mean, and Danny too. I give it to you. I like the character. I like the guy who plays Danny, the kid who plays Danny. I really do. Now I'll mention the Jason thing. I liked their conversation in the Quartermaine kitchen. It was so understated, And I love that Jason's like, I'll be a father, a single father. They're all acknowledging Sam was the one who kept it all together. She's like, I mean, like, and that's the thing. And we have seen Danny over the years and so, growing up and stuff. And it gives a little bit of the Danny Jason when he came back. So we got a little bit of, we got a little sense of who he is. They kind of set it up a little bit. So there's scenes together of him being the big brother and Jason going, I'll be here for you no matter where you are. I'll be here for you. Jason asking him how he feels. And even Danny's conversation with Carly and her asking permission, can I give you a hug or can I thought it was just like it all made sense. And this act again, Mark Teshner, this actor, again, another nice young actor.
Again, taking the realities of, what's been happening on the show, where both Drew and Jason have spent a large portion of their children's lives gone.
Yes.
And it was Sam that was, raising them. And so both of them having those same feelings of like, I don't know how to be a father to, an everyday father, and raise a child. It's one thing to when the other parent is there, and they will catch, they will catch anything that slips through the cracks. But when you're like the sole person responsible for everything from beginning to end, on a child, yeah, and you haven't done it. That's a lot to feel like, like Jesus, can I actually can I do this? I don't really know how to do this.
And they're addressing it. I like their because a family be like, wait a minute, they're not just doing some kind of like romantic. Here you come, live with me, and we'll be fine. But it's like all of them, like what's I mean, and I love they're addressing. They were a family
Yeah.
with Sam and Dante. That's the
Uh,
thing. It's like it doesn't matter if and he said, I feel like he's like my brother because they were raised together. And I have step siblings, and I know that, and we were raised together when I was in high school, and we were raised together. Like you're my family member. We live together every day. We share the same bathroom. All that. It's like we eat the same food. That is your family member. And I
yeah.
just think I just think it's like I'm glad they're addressing that because it's messy. There's all these little things going on, but it's realistic. Which I'm like, I didn't know they were going to. I feel like previous regimes wouldn't touch all this. I'm glad they're touching it.
For sure, because it's even though we haven't seen tons over the years, scenes of Sam and Dante and the kids
Right.
kind of just dynamic. The trade-off is that the Dante Sam pairing has been together for a while, and so even though you may not have seen a lot of it on screen, just by the time that they've actually been together on the show, you're willing to totally buy into the family unit that's been created, especially amongst the three kids.
Now I got to bring this up too because I was in tears when they told Maxie and Spinelli. They showed the flashbacks again, flashbacks of Jason Spinelli and Sam. That is a. I'm so glad they really acknowledged it because on Steve and Bradford's podcast he talked about it. Um, but the fact that and like I said, they would have not all been friends. I'm just going to skip to him for a second. I love when Jason goes, "I have a friend in Spinelli," and Max goes, "And you have one in me too." Like literally, Jason and Max have always got along. They've always got along fine. But she was friends with Sam. But I just love that they acknowledged when he first came on, and he was a jackal. I mean, that character could have worn thin. That character could, he's been off and on over the years. So I think it just helped a little bit. He goes off for a little bit, comes back. But the fact that him and Sam were really close. They were really, I'm glad they acknowledged that. And it's just that it was just like the quietness of that too. And then Maxie and Spinelli talked that again later at Drew's saying, it's like, I would have, I got you because of her. Like it's like but they showed the flashbacks. I love they showed the flashbacks. It was a perfect use of flashbacks.
Yeah.
So because they haven't done that much together recently. They did a thing in Iceland, in Greenland. They did that, whatever, and a few other things. But it was just like, wow, they're showing the fans who may not have been around. There's a long history of them together, three of them together.
I feel like we're going to see more this coming week with the funeral
Yeah.
and stuff. How could there
Oh
not
my
be?
God. Are you ready for that? Are you ready? Oh my God, Frank, are you ready? I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready for a funeral. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready. Whew. I'm ready.
I
It
mean,
was
even stuff
appropriate that. Yeah, please,
oh,
Frank.
like even like Dante, kind of like that weird thing is like a woman that he loves, a woman that he proposed to, a woman that he's already been living with and raising a family together with, but making it official, but also dealing with Alexis and like in terms of funeral arrangements and stuff like that. How do you like, Dante, like, like stepping back, like whatever you want, it's got to be all, I mean, it's just tough. Like, yeah. How do you navigate
Oh,
those?
the Alexis Felicia talk
Yeah.
was
Oh,
good too.
always great. Yes.
Felicia knows what that was. She knows exactly what this is like.
Yeah.
I thought that was very appropriate.
Hmm.
Because they could have brought Still out to do that, but I was kind of glad it was a Felicia. It was like she knows exactly what you're going through, and I love. Alexis says something later. I think about she's like plans. I had no plans to bury my dog. Like there was like it was such a almost like a funny response, but kind of like I don't know. She goes, and when she said there was no big discussion, it was a little discussion. It was kind of like Dante. I think Dante wants me to do it. So I'll take it. It was all realistic to me. I mean, as someone who's gone through, I did funeral arrangements last year, so I know what that feels like. It was like no one plans to bury their children. I mean, like there's like, so it's kind of like I know you're asking a regular question, but it's just like it was almost kind of like a comical, like, well, I know I had no plan. I mean, I planned my daughter to be alive. But when someone asked her, "What can I do for you?" Bring back my daughter.
Yeah.
It's like those are all real answers in a grieving process. But I love they added those little touches in, in there. And I just again, there's just like we have to go through this. We can't be grieving for 2, 5, 10 weeks. We have to get to her funeral. She's
Yeah.
dead. We gotta get to it. And we haven't talked about it yet, Frank. We got to bring them in. We got to bring them in. Our bickering sisters,
Oh, yeah.
Molly and Christina. And I was telling somebody, I go, Christina's supposed to be annoying. That's kind of the point, right? I think that's kind of the point. That she's supposed to be the annoying sister. That she always kind of goes half cocked. That's her thing. So when she called Michael, oh, when she was screaming, people made fun of her when she was screaming at God. There was a whole discussion, Frank, I saw on one of the pages. How can you be mad at God? I'm like, first of all, I've never lost my daughters, and I hope I don't before I die. I don't know what that feels like whatsoever. I can only imagine it's horrible. But my mother has lost a child. My brother, I've seen it up close how the hole that forms. Um, but I thought her kind of screaming at God made sense to me. I mean, the whole why, why. But her calling Michael, who is her rock, it's either Michael or Dante. Dante's grieving. I'm not saying Michael's not grieving, but it's like Michael. I love that they took Michael out of a situation. He's able to switch over and be that guy for them, for her.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see a Michael Dante scene whenever that comes
I
along.
know that hasn't happened yet. That's not, they're gonna, I think maybe it's funeral problem. It's going to get there, folks. I agree with you. They can't get to every single person. I mean, they're going to get there. But I thought that the Michael Christina thing was good. And
One
I
other
thought,
thing I did enjoy was the as we're talking about Alexis, her scene with Sonny, where she says to Sonny, like, like, okay, you're not about today, but how do you get through the next day and the next day and the next day? It's not just give me that one kind of platitude. How do you, on a daily basis, be able to accept that your child is no longer here?
I know because he knows too.
Yeah,
We haven't seen a Carly her scene either yet. A Carly Lexus scene either yet.
no,
I have a feeling the funeral is going to have. I feel like some of these scenes are going to be part of the funeral this week.
yeah,
We don't see them talk either because Carly knows was like to. I mean, no one's like to a child. And Carly and Lexus have had their problems, but they kind of they go back and forth. We haven't seen yet, but yes, when she asked that question, how do you go on the next day and then the next day and then the next? It's like that's real. That's real talk.
yeah.
That's real talk. I mean, and how do you? I don't know how people. I don't know how people. I mean, I don't know how people do it. Christina's making it all about herself, screaming at God. But see, that's. But isn't that how it is? When you're grieving, it is all about you. You're grieving. When my brother died, I was screaming to high heavens. Also, it was all about me missing my brother. So I kind of that's kind of the point. I kind of get it. And she did. She lost her daughter. I mean, she did lose. She lost a baby recently. She's feeling like everything's being taken away from her. I kind of get it. I don't down. I know a lot of folks are. And I know I never thought I would be um, taking up for this actress, so you guys know my feelings. Um, but the character itself, I get it. I totally get it. And I will say, this Molly, I love this Molly. Christina, I think her name is Christina Vangness, I think in real life. I'm liking her. She is totally grown on me.
Nice. The
Frank's like, not me. He's like, good for you, James. Not
I'm
me.
happy for you, James.
God bless you, James. But now, God, man, here's my turn. Go on, Frank. Tear it apart, Frank. Tear it apart. She's a,
Oh, what I did like, because I don't know, Christina, a little of her can go a long way for sure.
yes.
Like when they're in the Portia's office or whatever, they're talking about the autopsy, and Christina's like, "No, you can't do this." Uh, and then it leads to Christina and Molly just bop, 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 and just Alexis like, I think she just shut it down. She goes, "Girls, not today, not now."
She's like, not today. She's like, no, bitches, not today.
No, this is I last thing I need is the two of you just chirping and chirping
Woo!
at
I
each other.
know.
Oh,
But it had a nice moment for her birthday. She brought her a little necklace. But I just think, to me, I would narrate to somebody how to grieve because the grieving process is so different for everybody. And it is personal. It is personal. And I think all of us in our families have that one person where most of the time they do make it about themselves all the time. It's kind of like this, kind of like they just kind of, I feel like Christina represents that. She's the impulsive one. She's the one who, she's big, she's big, she's big. That's her. Molly's the youngest. She's a middle child, folks. A middle child, I understand that. This the younger child who's always kind of had to fend for herself. Of course, she'd be a little more there for her mother, so to speak. It's like that's what she kind of does. But she's neglecting TJ and all of that. So she ain't perfect either.
I mean, both Christina and Molly have a lot of processing of stuff they do, both with the baby and with Sam
Yes.
and the relationship with each other.
Yes.
Stuff that they're not, neither of them are really working on.
No.
And then you add Sam's death in on top of this.
Yes.
And I did like that they gave at least, a bit of a moment since Finn's not there, but they have Curtis check on Alexis in terms of, how she's
Yes.
taking care of herself.
Yes. I agree with that. I agree with you also on that one too. I thought it was appropriate. It made sense. It totally
Yeah.
made sense. And they're friends. I mean, it totally made sense. I liked that. And there were a lot of nice small moments of certain people checking on each other and what's going on and feeling the loss. Um, and having Alexis at the Quartermaines talking to Olivia, that was another good scene too. Olivia just trying to be there for her because we're like, wait a minute, Olivia just lost somebody who was important to her son.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing there too. So it's like there was kind of a nice talk, a touch.
Even the
Chase,
flashback that they did with Dante showing Olivia the ring. Like,
yeah,
oh, all right. You're just nice.
to do that in, I like that. Yes. We also had Chase being there for his partner because
Mhm.
he just went through it himself with his dad. So it's like it
Yeah.
was kind of like being there for each other. And then of course Brooklyn and Dante. That scene coming outside, talk to him, and him said, "I forget you know who I am. You know how I am." And her just being support to him while he's grieving himself because it's tough. We're seeing all the relationships. That's what I love about that. It's all relationships.
What do you want to see happen in terms of where the kids stay? I mean, it feels like Jason is willing to step aside to
Yes,
keep the kids together.
yes,
Not that it's easy for him, but
right.
he's willing to do that.
Yes, Curtis was an addict because remember, there's a whole backstory of Curtis and Jordan when they were back in Baltimore. There's a whole with Taggart. There's a whole thing. They were undercover. They got hooked on drugs. So Curtis was there's a whole thing with they don't talk about it much anymore. But that was like a beginning story. That was like 5 Jordans ago or whatever. They had a whole there's a whole thing about that. So yeah, that's why it made sense for Curtis to come in and talk to Alexis.
Yeah.
Um,
Those are the days when Curtis had the big cigar.
besides that, that's different. But yeah, that was Alexis telling Olivia that she wanted the kids to come live there didn't make sense to me. No, it makes sense. As a grandfather, it makes sense to me to almost feel like your daughter's gone. I want her. I want whoever's be close to me. That actually makes sense to me. I will tell you by experience, if my daughters died, I would want to be in my grandkids' life even more heavier, possibly. It makes sense to me. It does make sense to me, actually. It
Uh,
happens all the time where grandparents try to come in, but it's one of those things. As Frank's question to me is, I'm not sure how I feel, which is great. I
yeah.
don't know. I'm almost like leave them all the Quartermaines. Why? It's more entertaining. They'll have more Quartermaine stuff going on. They stay together, and maybe Dante does move in with the Quartermaines for a while. The remember said Jason, you should live with the Quartermaines too. That made me laugh too.
There,
I made me laugh. You're not gonna live with the Quartermaines.
because even
Uh,
Drew and Jason have to acknowledge that, like, even though Dante's not the father of the child,
right.
he has played a
Oh yeah.
significant role in helping raise them.
Oh yeah. That's
Uh, so I could see either of them finding like the easy out for them, or to be like, well, we'll just keep you all together with Dante.
well. Remember, Mac, your buddy, he raised Robin, Georgie, and Maxie.
That's right.
I mean, they all had to. None of them were his kids. I mean, like literally biologically, but he raised all three of them. He was their guardians, and they always acknowledge that. But they always acknowledge that he raised those three girls, and I think that's almost a example of almost biology over whatever it is. I mean, it's kind of just I can see the two kids staying at the Quartermaines. But see, Lulu's coming back, so Rocco would go back. With, I mean, they probably go that direction. Um, or Dante decides I'm moving to the house, and Rocco and we live here. So all the
Yeah.
kids together. I mean, that could be. He could. Olivia's there. Leo's there. I mean, they could live there.
I mean, do they still stay? Do they all stay at Sam's place?
Or they could. One or two. But I just think that it's hi Gail. I just think it's. But I get. I mean, I hope we don't have a custody battle. I hope we don't have that. I don't want that happening.
I can't
With
imagine.
Alexis,
Yeah,
I'm saying with Alexis and them and Dante or the boys. I hope not. I hope we don't have that.
yeah.
I hope not. I don't want to have that. But I understand a grandparent wanting to come in, especially the mother of the kid of the daughter's kids. I mean that's I can see why she would put her hat in the ring.
No,
She's
for sure. But I can also see why Dante is being like, well, I was raising these kids with Sam for
yes.
X number of years, and I wanted to honor Sam by continuing to do that even after she's gone. So yeah, I don't know. I hope it doesn't go contentious. It'd be a shame if it went that direction, but it'll be interesting to see where it lands.
How are they gonna put Dante and Lulu together after this? That's gonna be a long road, I think. And Lulu has so much to hear. This goes back to life. We got to tell her first. Her manager's gonna he's dead from a
Yep.
long time ago. Cyrus, her uncle, is her uncle who did. I mean, I'm really curious how they handle. There's so much to handle for her. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do this. How they go. I mean, this actress has a lot on her plates. I think a lot on her
Plus,
plates.
on top of that, we still have layered in that there seems to be something fishy with Sam's death.
Yes, so there's that because also there's like because and with Lulu's line the thing and there's
Yep.
something on there. We have that going on. We also have so we have that going on. That going on. Um,
We even had Lucas having his breakdown about,
so now we got that too. We haven't mentioned him.
yeah.
So Lucas operated on, he has his own guilt, and him and Brad were talking. Like Connor was like, no, 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 get out, Brad, no, no, no. But obviously they're going to lead towards them. Something's going to happen between those two. But Lucas is feeling guilty. He's feeling guilty and everything and the whole thing. And I should have listened to Sam, which I'm like, of course, I knew that part was kind of predictable. I knew that was going to happen. Some happens, sure he's going to feel guilty, blah, blah. But I like him as Lucas. I like Van Hansen as Lucas. He's working for me. I'm curious to see what they do with his character. To me, out of all of them, he's newer and I don't know, he didn't even he did grieve, but I just didn't feel his heart. I'm not praising him just yet. He was okay. He was okay.
No. Yeah, I mean it's tough to fully get excited, like, if it had been Ryan Carnes doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, and you're bringing in the weight of all those years of them having acted against each other. Yes, that kind of makes it. It's just the unfortunate part of having uh, of having a new actor in that role. That kind of, tempers the scene a little bit. But I do like the idea of him and Dr. Gannon, like maybe Elizabeth teaming up to try to figure out who's been causing hijinks at the hospital. I'd be down
Yes.
for that.
Yeah, me too. It's called General Hospital, folks. So you gotta have some hospital storylines. So I'm fine with that. Also, I am fine with
Yeah.
it.
If there's
It's
somebody
because
that's killing, like doing euthanasia or killing people, that would be, I don't know. Let's see it. I feel
yeah,
like you're setting it up that way.
yeah. And I'm down with that too. But again, in terms of everybody's scenes about Sam, it was, and and even Elizabeth, her and Sam were never really friends. They were really good friends,
Yeah.
um, and she has been quietly supporting other characters as they go through the stuff. And we also remember we got the Charlotte's out there. We got that's the whole thing, right? To try to find a time theme for Charlotte. There's a whole Charlotte thing that is she gonna be here at the funeral? Is she not gonna be at the funeral? Will she come back to town pissed that she is left out? I mean, like she has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like so. I feel like, and she's a Cassadine. She's already shown she's a Cassadine in some ways. I'm very curious to how this is gonna play out. So I'm glad they're still mentioning her. They're still mentioning her. They're still trying to find value. So, but I have a feeling they're setting this up so that she comes back afterward. Her brother's awake, and I feel like something. This is my little prediction. You know me, my little predictions. I think she's gonna be pissed, and she wasn't around.
Charlotte?
Charlotte, yeah, Charlotte wasn't there.
Oh, that Lulu's
Or
gonna be
feel
pissed?
bad she wasn't there. One or feel bad she wasn't there.
Yeah.
She didn't know. She went
Uh,
out for a day with her papa. She went out with her papa. I don't know if I don't see. I don't know because I know right now he's on vacation. I don't know if Valentine's coming back for sure, but they got to bring back Charlotte. But they have to because Lulu, that's her daughter.
I mean, for sure they have to. I mean, and there's never been we have never seen Charlotte be mad at Valentine. It's always been, Papa, you're the best,
Yeah,
Papa.
yeah, yeah,
Like anytime she's been mad, it's more about like Anna. She was more about mad about Anna possibly encroaching on her father. So I don't know whether this whole situation would maybe cause a little tiff between Valentine and Charlotte. Like, yeah, you got me away from my mom when she was awake, and I got to bed with her.
yes. I know. So I'm not sure, but I know this funeral should be very interesting. She very would Charlotte care about Sam being gone? I have no idea, but she would care about her mother coming back to life. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm going more like she's not there for all this. She doesn't know what's going on. I think she might feel like left out that she's coming back and like her mother's alive, but then yeah, I know, but I think she did Charlotte live with them a little bit too for a while. I how where she
She
lived.
did. She did for a little bit.
She lived with Sam and them for a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know if she would care about it, but I just was saying, Shauna
Yeah.
could be a demon seed still, as I'm saying. She could still be the Cassadine element. Um, and I don't know. So I'm just saying it's gonna be very interesting.
For sure.
She's still out there.
And supposedly, Kelly has one more scene still to come. So, I mean, I'm sure that's going to be some kind of ghost image around the
Yes.
funeral. Who will she visit?
Well, GH is very famous for the ghosts and spirits. Usually, you have somebody come take them away. Remember that was the whole thing with Max. That's his real name. With Sonny's dad and with Quartermaine, they always have somebody take them up to heaven or whatever. They
Oh,
didn't know Sam.
yes, when Edward and Lila kind of
Yeah.
shepherded somebody up the Quartermain stairs. Oh,
I
all
know,
right.
I know. It was so good. It was so good. But having Courtney come back and take her dad up to heaven,
Yes.
that was great too. That was a great cameo. So I'm saying they do it with Sam. So I think you're right. I think Sam's going to say goodbye to somebody, probably as a spirit.
Yeah. I mean, is it Alexis? Is it Dante?
I don't know. Right? That's the whole thing. I don't know because I mean I'm like that's. I mean it's
Spinelli?
or Spinelli. That'd be kind of funny, Spinelli. There's a will on Diane's desk, Alexis's desk. Sam
Mhm.
did leave a will, so be curious what she says. Yes. Uh,
Uh, oof.
I know. I should be sorry for Rocco. Yeah, Rocco's a brother. They grew up. They lived together, so they know each other. I see you feel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying that she's not part of the mix. All of a sudden, what's going on? She may feel a little left out. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to play. I don't know how they're going to play it. But I'm just saying it's that I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there too. Like how they going to play it with her.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, all around, we wrapped it up. It's been 2 hours and it's on the show. I want to kill you guys. I think overall, as we said before, as I knew before, great performances by everybody. Um, it's reverberating through the whole cast. And now we actually see where stuff starts to settle. Now that Lulu's waking up, that's going to add a whole new level. And then we'll see what goes on from there, I think.
I mean, certainly, I know people will disagree on the choices made by uh, the production side of General Hospital for whatever reasons they decided to make that it would be better to say goodbye to Sam than keep her around. But for how it's being executed thus far, how are you feeling it's being handled? Is it
Good.
worth it? Are we getting what you feel like
I like it. So, I mean, again, I'm a Kelly Monaco fan. I wanted to keep her. I also thought when you have Lindsay Hartley, she was great as Sam too. Why didn't we just, why we keep the character? But you know what? Here's the thing. She could come back. It's soap opera.
it is a soap
I
opera?
mean, this is like it's soap opera. I mean, any never say never, say never, say never. It is very rare. I know folks do it. Here's one of my big examples. ABBA. You're thinking James mentioning ABBA. Yeah, that group with Dancing Queen. After they broke up in 1981 or 82, at the height of their fame, they said they would never, ever, ever perform together. It was famously offered $1 billion for one night. What happened 2 years ago? Did a new album together. I mean, like it's just like it's just never say never. I don't. I'm not. I mean, anything is completely possible if time passes and situations line up. We could be seeing Kelly Monaco on our screens again as Sam or some character or anything. You just never. I mean, a few. We saw Morgan. We saw Morgan. I mean, he came back for a minute. I mean, it's interesting.
I mean, things she has in her favor. Well, I mean, one, she's a character with a lot of ties, but she's also a Cassadine. She's got Cassadine connections.
Yes,
And there's always some Cassadine hijinks that could be
yes,
pulled out if you wanted to kind of bring her back.
totally, completely. And here's the thing, folks. None of us really know what happened behind the scenes because Kelly hasn't spoken yet about everything, and GH hasn't spoken about everything. So we don't know exactly what has happened. Her goodbye day was leaked as a video. That's how I know you saw the other day, and saying goodbye to everybody. They were hugging her. So we don't know. You guys don't know. I know a few things, but you guys don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So until she speaks out and really talk and says she's going to tell us whatever, tell you shit the devil. Again, never say never. I say never. I just never, never say never. And trust me, what was it? The Eagles, they hate each other and they get together on separate buses. They do tours every few years. Half Fleetwood Mac hates each other. They get together. These groups come, they say they will never tour again. They do it. Cher's done 10,000 farewell tours. He's like, I never say never to anybody. People say stuff, you're like, well, for the right money, the right things lining up, the right stuff, anything's possible. Frank said he would never work with me ever again after AfterBuzz TV, but he came back,
That's
and
right, man. When that big fat paycheck showed up, uh,
he couldn't say no.
couldn't say no.
Say no. He couldn't say no. I say, so I'm with. This is where I agree with Frank. Anything's possible with Sam. Anything's possible with Sam. Anything.
Yeah,
I got to mention something that I think is really this is GH Spotlight related, GH Report related. If you guys have seen, because you guys have seen it, there is a video going viral of our friend and former co-host Carla Renata. Have you seen it, Frank? Have you seen it?
I have seen it there.
It
Where
is,
the Wicked girls are going gaga on her.
yeah. So Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo find out that she was, because Carla Renata actually is an actress and a singer also. She's the Curvy Critic. You call her the Curvy Critic. And she was also a co-host with Frank for several years at After Receive for GH Report. She's part of our history. We love her. She was also on Avenue Q. She played Gary Coleman. It's a woman who plays Gary Coleman on the show. That's the whole thing. I saw Avenue Q. Um, Now I'm thinking, was that Carla when I saw her, dude? I gotta look at my program. I didn't know Carla back then, so I don't know. But they go goo goo gaga over that. These two big actresses, singers are like, "You're on Avenue Q," and it's a very cute moment, which we need these days. It's gone viral. So congratulations to Carla going viral for something fun, Frank. Something fun. I thought it was just kind of, we know Carla. It's like, that's our girl. We're like, that's our girl. So I think it's just very cool.
Yeah, no, that's always, yeah, Carly deserves all the props and
Yes,
respect. So yeah.
yes. Because we didn't talk about it when we were doing our 9-year anniversary. What was it like to work with Carla?
Uh, you know, um, I did not ever think, once working with James and being that close to greatness, I could find something like that again. But I was doubly blessed to be able to have that with Carla Renata.
You guys had chemistry. I liked it. You guys just very different. You got two different people, but see, Frank and black folks. For some reason, Frank and black
Mm.
folks, whether it's Ladine Harvey
That's
or
right.
it's kind of Renata or me, Frank just fits right in.
There
He
you
fits
go.
right in. You can watch those. You go to SBS TV. I think they're still up. Some of those episodes with James Report. You can see her on there. For some reason, Frank and black folks. I mean, Lucretia had a black name, so she
That's
counts too.
true. Uh,
But you and black folks, we get along great with you.
man, I appreciate that, James. I want to be an ally, as they say.
You're invited to the cookout.
Thank
Uh,
you. I'm not
but that's kind
bringing,
of funny.
I'm not bringing bland potato salad, hopefully.
Oh, no, please don't.
Uh,
Please. Yes. But it's not funny though. I would say, but Carlin, you were on for, I think it was like several years. You guys did it.
yeah.
I mean,
She was great because Carla and I, there were things that we did not agree at. Some of Carla's things that she vibed with would not be what I was delighted with, what I would vibe with, but I was delighted always to hear what she had to think because it was always entertaining.
black women love some white chocolate Frank Moran.
Oh,
white
hello.
chocolate.
All right.
White chocolate. I love it. And also, Lady and Frank, they were lank. We had the fans had put them together. They sat next to each other those first couple of years. So it's kind of funny. They were lank, and she loved Sunny Corinthos. That was her thing.
Oh,
Love
she
her
did.
some Sunny.
She did. I guess I will have to get myself a white chocolate hat to.
Yeah, we do. I gotta get one made right now. I gotta get one made. That's it's white chocolate. But anyway, but we love Carla. I just want to mention because it is GH related. She was somebody who was important to our history of our show, and I love that it's a fun, lighthearted moment. It's just good. That's just kind of cool. That's very cool. And I'm glad you guys come to the show tonight too. We're gonna end, but before we end, Frank,
Oh,
I'm scared. It's time for the emails, kids. Let's see. We've been on for 2 hours, kids. Woo! Thanks for everybody sticking with us. It is. I can't see. Oh, 317027. I'm gonna type it in the chat. 317027. He is a crazy person. Emails.
there you go. We did it.
Right now I have 8.
So you're almost caught up.
It almost kind of okay. I have 8 on one and 19 on the other. That's it. So that's something else. That's really fun. So I'm gonna talk to Frank after this, without you guys listening. So about the schedule for next month. So we might be back next Sunday. I gotta look at my I'm in San Francisco. I gotta find out where my friend David comes back. If I could do a show really quick before he comes. Well, I see. So we'll let you know. So follow GLJ Media. I'm gonna talk to Frank right now and figure that out. And because I feel like this week is that's what I wanted to come back in December, and it's gonna be a funeral week. I feel like I'm gonna have to come back, so I gotta look at the schedule. I'm pulling out my book right now.
Ooh.
Talking about this.
I mean, that's if you stop crying in time, James.
Oh, I know. I'm scared. I'm a big crybaby. I am scared, you guys. It's gonna be so crazy. Thank you guys for watching us as always. He's a
Yeah,
happy go Jackie. I'm at James Lott Jr. We're both on Blue Sky, so I saw I got some follows already.
that's right. That's right. Let's see.
Oh, they're already. Everyone, new members, thank you, Chelsea. Everybody, thank you guys for joining us. Hi, Jenna. I didn't see you earlier in here, and Cherie and Annie and everybody in here. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.
But I have 7 new followers, James.
See, you got 70 followers.